Oh, wow. We weren't supposed to be up here yet. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Janét Jones, and I'm back with Marie Rousseau, the Astro G Ladies. We haven't been live in quite some time. I'm so sorry, y'all, but we are happy to be back, aren't we, Marie?
Yes, we are. I'm gonna say hi because we weren't like you said, we kind of jumped on a little early, but yes, it has been a while. I am actually glad to be back because there's so much astrologically that we need to speak about, especially throughout the entire year with this Saturn and Pisces thing going on. But that's for another episode, which we have coming up. When is that? November 4th.
Saturday. And that's a seminar. So please make sure to hit the link in my bio for Linktree, and you can do the Saturn and Pisces seminar. We're doing a catch up to find out what's been going on for people, to discuss some things.
Yes, one of the reasons why I like that we're coming back and we're starting it off with this show because it sets the precedence for everything else that we end up doing afterwards.
Sure does.
So that we can actually point people back to this one when they say, what is it with this astrology? Or I don't find any validity in it, or, people have said that it's not real or it's fake, or what is it really? How do we make the distinction between this and what we've been seeing on Cosmopolitan or newspapers or just different charlatans in the world? So I'm glad we're starting it off with let's set the record straight a little bit.
Yes. We absolutely positively need to. So I think that there is an opportunity here because of recent events for this discussion to be even more important. I know some of you might have been seeing some things online about the validity of astrology or people demonizing it, and just, so many things are coming up. So we couldn't think of anyone better to have on the show to speak about the validity of astrology than Ahku of Cozmophyzix.
Yes.
She snapped it. Now, some of you may be familiar with Ra. I'm not sure how many people he is new to, but I don't think y'all know what you're in for.
Yeah, no, because it's real and it's raw, and it's real and it's raw because he's raw. But for the simple fact that he has been doing this for 30 plus years, and he has helped countless amounts of people. I mean, that's probably in the thousands now because this is, he does this professionally.
Yes.
But he started off, as most astrologers do, with the fact that we didn't believe it. And we started off wanting to debunk it and questioning it. I don't think that any true practitioner of astrology got into astrology as a belief system like, oh, I love this, so I want it to work, so I'm just going to believe that it does by any means necessary.
Right.
You initially come in with a lot of skepticism. One, because you start off with not understanding. It's not in the sense of like dealing with maybe a spiritual doctrine or ideology that starts with a story that explains the beginning, middle, and end. Most people are introduced through astrology through these little inserts in newspapers that say this is your sign and this is what you're going through. And then when you look at a chart, it looks like Egyptian hieroglyphs. And so you're just completely confused. You start off with well, it sounds like me, but it doesn't. So already people are introduced with astrology with doubt. So when you
Yes.
when you begin this practice, you're not starting off with full faith. You're actually starting off with, is there anything here? Because I don't believe it. And I think all of this is a bunch of baloney. Longer you do it, the next thing you know, you're like, my life has changed forever.
That's what happened to me. I try to tell people that all the time. I really got into this as a way of like thinking, no, this can't be real.
Right.
Like, there's just some coincidences. And the more that I looked into it, I realized I didn't know shit. And there was no way I could debunk something I didn't know shit about. That would just be dumb. So I was like, I gotta learn more. And I learned more. And because I'm a digital pack rat, I had conversations, they're time stamped. Times in life, like all this stuff. And it made a practitioner out of me instead of saying a believer.
Right. And we wouldn't call this a belief, which is one of the things that we wanted to set straight. Practitioners of astrology don't say that we believe in astrology. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard the phrase when they say you don't believe in the English language, you don't believe, and you just speak it. You just
Right.
use it. It's not a belief system. As a matter of fact, all belief systems can use astrology, which is the difference. You know, it doesn't matter if you're Christian, if you're Catholic, if you're Muslim, if you're if whatever practice you're in, you can still use astrology. So it's another tool that can help, you know, define where you are and understand the nature and interconnectedness of the entire world.
Indeed. And it has become something that I can't imagine life without. So we want to make sure that people have an understanding of why we're saying it's valid. We're not just out here in these pop astrology streets just talking.
Right.
Because that's what's out here.
Do you have that at least the clip? We had a
yes
little excitement here for the astrological community as one of our expert master. You know, we call him a master at astrology. He hates that phrase.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Right.
Using it all over social media.
You can't help it, you know, because he is so proficient, you know. And what do you call people that are proficient in their craft? You call them a master. But his reasoning is because astrology makes a student out of you forever.
Yes.
So he says, unless I live a billion years, I'll never be able to grasp everything that astrology can describe or indicate. So he's like, I'm not a master yet, you know, maybe in a few billion lifetimes. But yes, he did have a recent appearance on the Atlanta, what is it? The
Impact Atlanta.
Yes, the Impact Atlanta on BET. And I hope you have the clip where he said my favorite thing at the very beginning to basically make that distinction.
I can show that one too. That's not the one that I have loaded, but I can always put it in.
Do it whatever order you got.
Okay, here we go.
Check them out.
Why my life is up for review.
Yeah, he's gonna have domestic challenges.
Domestic?
Yeah, you're not satisfied with domestic issues. Yeah, like keeping a place.
Oh, okay.
Finding a place, keeping a place. It says here that you got like 3 or 4 months of domestic challenges.
It's crazy because this man does not know that I'm gonna be moving to New York, and then he's telling me that I'm gonna have 3 months of domestic issues. It's a little crazy.
Yep. I actually have a little bit of background information on that. The producers were looking for an astrologer for him to come speak. He had not met these people before. As a matter of fact, you know, Raw just had his 58th birthday, so he's like, "What is this show?" as what would be natural for most people who aren't who don't know about these new shows that are coming out on BET. But it was his very first time meeting them, and they wanted to be as authentic as possible, so they gave like no information. They were just
okay.
Like, you're coming in, you're gonna meet this hairstylist, and that's it. Boom. And he went in on that conversation.
Wow.
And what was do you have the other clip?
No, it's not up here. I loaded it and it's not there. And I loaded it another way, so it's not even on my computer. I know you sent it to me, but
yeah. There's at the very beginning what he said and this will kind of lead into the validity of astrology, is that when he sat down, the very first thing that he told everyone, or that he told the celebrity hairstylist and the mother, was, I'm not a psychic, I'm an astrologer. And I want that part to just stay in mind while he's describing the validity of astrology, or even to
Yes.
understand, so that we can start to relate to what it really is and what it really isn't. So, yeah, if you want to go ahead and get started with that, you're
Yes. So, without any further ado, we do want to give a warm welcome to, I won't say Master Astrologer again, but to the beloved Ahku from Cozmophyzix.
Peace, Raw.
How you doing
How am I doing what?
Oh
this
God.
evening? Uh-oh.
How am I doing this evening? What? No, I'm just playing. So whatever you add on, I can just drop what at the end.
Right.
And so I'm doing good, considering things have went a lot smoother than I thought they were in one hand, and exactly as drastic as I thought they were in the other. So as long as I'm able to recognize the difference, I'm good.
Yeah, that makes it. Well, that was a gem. That's a gem for life. As long as I recognize the extremes of my life and I'm able to balance it. Look, I feel like a translator. What he said was,
No, what I said was like I'm having a Saturn is coming, is creeping across
right.
me. We send it, okay.
Mhm.
And when I'm in my profession, in practice, I tell my clients we deal with the day that Saturn is most crystallized,
Okay.
because they don't have an education in astrology. First,
Mm.
you can't really explain to them and expect them to fully comprehend what the delineation is in your own mind, because you only have the English language with which to impart it to them. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Secondly, they don't realize they're swimming in that Saturn motion when they're in it.
Oh, yeah.
In this example, you're actually, this is the oil that your boat is floating on. So
Right.
the things that you see that you personally associate with Saturn are what you recognize.
Okay.
They miss all the other significant and insignificant Saturn shit that they're also wading through. So in other words, Saturn, you get laid off from work, right? Well, that week, your father also needed a ride to work, so he called you for it. Notice your father or someone from the
Right.
father's side of the family. That was
Saturn.
Mm.
that was like one of the very first indications of it. Saturn people started getting at your ass. You see?
Right.
So this is the beginning of that phase, like a few days before the Saturn actually happens. Saturn people start getting at you, more Capricorn suns, more Capricorn rising, more people with stelliums and Capricorn. You start dealing with them, you don't even notice because you have no knowledge. The veil hasn't been lifted from your eye with regards to the celestial factors that concur with everything you're doing. And even the decisions you're making are now more from your Saturn mind.
Mm.
And because people don't distinguish, they don't study astrology, first of all. See, they come to you for a reading, they have preconceived notions already. Like today,
Right.
I do samples every day from 1 to 7, right?
Yep.
I
Right.
just answer the phone. Okay, that's my job, really, is doing samples, right? So this woman called me and she says, um, I just have one question. Just one, just one. You can tell me the day I'm going to meet the love of my life, and woo, 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 woo. I said, it doesn't work like that.
Right. Right.
You see, because you have 4 days out of every cycle, and I only calculate 7 of them for myself. Okay, general public, we calculating 2 or 3 tops.
Rod, I want, before I lose the thought, I wonder if you can explain this part that you just said in detail, because I think people miss it. You said that, what these planetary motions concur with. I noticed that you did not use the word cause, that these planetary energies cause this. It's what they concur with or what they indicate. Why would you choose the word indications and correlations rather
Yes.
than causations when it comes to this craft?
Because if you have to study the craft first of all to even see it. Okay, but planets aren't the cause; they're just moving with everything else of their own nature. It's like, see, this is the only analogy that makes sense to me. Okay, picture yourself stirring a gigantic cauldron. Since you want to call this shit witchcraft, okay, you're stirring this cauldron. This cauldron has potatoes, tomatoes, yams, ham, okay? Everything.
You name it.
Yes, all of it.
It has all that shit in it. So you're stirring this shit, right?
Right.
Well, once it gets to moving, right, that it doesn't matter that the potatoes are heavier than the specks of parsley you put in that shit. It is all spinning in the same timing.
Right.
Well,
so would you say that the potatoes and the parsleys and stuff, they just end up lining up? So you could say
they are all spinning with that in that gigantic cauldron at all the same degree, all the same speed. You understand?
Yes.
We're all moving in one accord.
Right.
So astrology is only proof that I'm holding on to this motherfucking chunk or to this pea while it's spinning around in the fucking and everything else is whirling around me. And how do I know what direction I'm facing? Because that potato, he's moving right there with me. Every time I see that part of the room, I'm seeing that potato pass over. You understand? Every time I start to feel the jerk or tug, or the pull or the torque. Okay, so that is, if you could use your visual mind, a perfect illustration of what the fuck is going on. The same energy that's moving that planet is also the same energy that you're moving through yourself. You ain't using nothing you bought here with you.
Right.
That's true.
What I'm saying is everything was already here when you got here.
Right.
You didn't bring none of this shit. It was already here in motion when you got here. But Disney, the educational program, first of all, fuck Disney. Okay? Fuck the propaganda machine. Part of my language. Let's forget the propaganda machine and let's deal with the beginning of the propaganda, which is education. They miseducate you as to the nature of the science from the giddy up. And people have to understand that the educational system the modern educational system is a daughter of the Jesuit system in Europe. So if you understand that, when they Christianized Europe, they Christianized, they whitewashed, they made everything evil that wasn't Christian. You understand? While they were busy putting zodiac signs on their cathedrals.
Yes.
You see
and
what
their
I'm
calendars saying? And their paintings.
Right.
And
they were declaring everything about it evil.
Right.
Okay. Like, do I need to explain that? So, okay, but we're actually talking about the veracity, validity. Did I answer your question? Or,
Yeah. Well, yes. Like as to why we would say that these things are a correlation, that we're just matching.
They're not the cause. They just concur with.
Not, right.
Yes. Yes.
So I think that's one of the first things that, in understanding the validity of astrology, is changing the verbiage that surrounds this craft and practice, because you will see online that Mercury retrograde is making me do this, or I'm having a Jupiter and it's making me, it's causing this. What are the planets causing today? What are the planets doing to me today?
The planets don't cause shit.
Yeah.
Right.
My idea is that your behavior with the energy you've been given. The house didn't catch on fire because fire burns. The house caught on fire because you were fucking playing with matches. Okay? So there's a big difference. So what? Fire is going to be fire no matter what. All right? That is the nature of astrology, right? It just tells what it is. You know, like the signifying monkey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is the monkey on top of the palm tree screaming and telling everybody in the jungle that the rhinoceros is getting his ass whooped by a pack of hyenas on the north end over here? And you got a zebra hightailing it from two cheetahs on this end, y'all, before y'all get there. Is the cheetah the reason why? I mean, is the monkey declaring this to the jungle the reason why the cheetah getting his ass chased?
No.
Right.
Is that the reason why the rhinoceros is getting chased by a pack of? Is really about to kill him, a pack of hyenas? No, the monkey ain't the reason. So the planet just tells you what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
From out there, you can see what's going on out there perspective. You can also see what's going on right here. Which
Right.
You need to understand all the correlations, you know. And when I learned that, I was reading an astrology book on classical astrologers. It was the name of the book was The History of Astrology, and I don't know the author. All right.
Okay.
But at any rate, he was saying in the book that astrologers. I lost where I was going. The whole point, anyway. You know, really, I was just overwhelmed by a whole bunch of different invasive thoughts about astrology and astrologers and all of that. So I forgot where we were.
The last thing that we were talking about is that because the monkey is declaring what's going on, doesn't
yeah. So astrologers back in the day would say Saturn is coming to your 5th house and he's going to make it very rough for you.
right.
This picturesque bullshit is the reason why all these misconceptions about astrology exist in the first place. They had to cover it up. That's where I was going. They had to put it in a flowery language because the church was such a ridicule on it. So the natural order of the day is that it is associated with the hocus pocus and all the bullshit chicanery, snake oil selling, concoction making ass, you know, home remedy. Give me your money real quick. Let me turn this to $1 real quick as isms. And they use it. All these charlatans out here use it.
Absolutely.
Right.
You see, so when people are like, well, I'm not a charlatan, he's calling me a charlatan. Don't be so. If you're not, then why are you personalizing it? You see what I'm saying? The shoe fit, you dig? Cinderella, put that shit on. You know, the real point in the matter is that it's been given a bad name. So people have all kinds of misconceptions about it, and they come to me with all kinds of misconceptions as to what they think I'm going to do for them too. Mm-hmm. So they have I have a quick question. Ain't no one question. I have to verify your chart. You need a thorough analysis before I can diagnose any situation. So somebody.
So what do you say about the intuitive astrologers or that
phrasing?
They're new at it. They're new at the practice, and they're very aware about that they need to pay their bills. You're not number one. The definition of intuition needs to be defined.
Okay.
Because intuition cometh without prompt, and it is always verbal. It is not visual at all, ever. That's a whole nother mental faculty you're talking about.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Your intuition it's not visual. You don't see shit. You don't feel your intuition. It talks to you.
Right.
Period. And it talks to you without prompt. Most people aren't intelligent enough to realize whether their own thought, whether that thought was a result, a response, or whether I am generating this from the core of my fucking soul. Most people don't take time to identify that. Was this thought prompted by anything, Rob? Before you jump to any conclusions, you did. Was that intuition, Rob, or was that your fucking imagination?
So using the symbols in astrology would make it that you're being prompted. You're basically
right.
It is a prompt. Those symbols are coded. You don't get to make up what the fuck they mean in one
exactly.
So to me, it means this. Well, to me, 5 + 7 is a zillion. So where's my money?
Exactly.
Right.
We have to agree on definitions and the
So we
symbols.
must agree, first of all, that the intuitive mental faculty is the capacity to know without experience, which all human beings have, because we've all said, I knew better than this shit. We're always mad at ourselves when we ignore that voice. This is intuition. So astrology is a prompt. The motion and place of that planet is an absolute prompt, because you have absolutely no delineation if you don't know where that planet is.
Right.
So there's no connection. Eagles do not go to TWA to learn how to fly. Okay? So you know, it really intuitive. You don't use intuition to do astrology. You use your linear rational mind, because there's much to memorize, many rules to go by with regards to making a decision astrologically, and many factors that need to be considered before any one question can be answered if you're going to a real astrologer. Now, you got these astrologers who, by definition of the United States Constitution, are free to declare who they are, even if they're not. They are free to deceive you. They are free to be in deception of their own ideas. They're absolutely free to do this. So the business is tainted with a bunch of quacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
And so at the same time, now you want some valid astrology. First, you must open your mind that astrology isn't what you think it is. What 90% of the time, and I am not being facetious nor I'm not engineering a falsity here. 90% of the astrology you catch online or on TV is fucking garbage. And 90% of the people doing it don't even know how trash this shit is, because they haven't fully grasped the true essence of the science. They're still learning this shit. Even when they call themselves, I'm good at it. I've been doing it for 10 years. When they come to my class, I'm like, that's excellent, man. You've been doing it for 10 years. I bet you ain't considered every one of the lessons we're doing in here once.
Yeah, running in place, which brings up
running in place.
Right, you can run in place. You could be doing it for 10
can.
years and be stuck in the same place. And another issue that I found is that they reach this point where they think they've gotten it or that they understand it and realize how much of it they don't understand, and then don't know where else to go. And something amazing happens in that. They go back to religion. I see it all the time. They get to a point in astrology where they think they have it. They don't have it. They can't defend it because this conversation isn't being had. So they don't know that it involves all of this. The only thing that they're concerned with is delineation. They've never tried to rectify a chart to understand why maybe they've gotten some of their readings wrong, the room for error. They, insert words like mediumship and intuitiveness into it, which dilutes the practice of astrology. Channeling.
Oh, channeling.
Right? Downloading cards next to it, and then the very end of it, they come and they just go, I didn't get it, so guess what? Astrology's evil again. It has to be if it's this complex.
Listen, it is a science that requires a specific degree of application.
Yes.
Okay. And if you enter upon its practice thinking that your tape measure is going to dance for you, you stupid. You can't be more crazy and out of your mind and so Tom and Jerry with this shit. I can't even begin to say it's kindergarten. That shit is preschool. Okay.
And it makes it so it even does that where it creates that conflict, because when I'm saying that they go back to religion or they go back to the point in cases is that they give up their beliefs for astrology, believing astrology is a belief.
Well, number one, they never cultivated knowledge in the craft.
Right.
Okay. They learn. I have students that have taken the religious path and even have after demonstrated to themselves, like, God damn, every time my P3 Mars hits the ninth cusp, it's one thing or another with my car. Okay. And she said this to me and I was like, are you sure? You got to look and see. She's like, man, this is okay. it's been 6 months that I've been tracking Mars. So this is my 6th Mars. I've gotten 4 tickets. They were, four of those tickets happened when Mars was on the 9th cut, which is typical of Mars activity. Which you keep parking your car in the same place, you're going to keep getting a ticket. But it only happened to her when she was having a Mars. Okay, so there goes the catch. The police contact came with the Mars. Now, you know, she's parking there every day. She wasn't getting a ticket every day. So, but at any rate, she said, wow, this shit, she said, knowing how to predict is the true determinant with regards to knowing that this shit is real, because you see, you make the measure first.
Right.
Then you go out and that's all the fuck you see. It's a predominant motif in the scenery. You see this more than once. You see it for years if you do it for years. So therefore, when you're telling another person what it means, you know what it means from what you've seen it do to you. As opposed to the modern day internet savvy ass astrologer who knowingly or unknowingly has only memorized what that fucking book says.
Right. Memorize delineations instead of...
They have not seen Mars in true operation in their charts. Okay, right. They have you know, you ask them where their own Mars is. Where's your Mars? They tell you, oh, wait a minute, let me pull up wait a minute. Why should I have to wait for you to pull up your chart? Okay, have you actually studied astrology? If you have, you've subjected your chart to every fucking test that you've learned astrologically. That's the only way you can verify it, first of all. So if you came to this show thinking that my words are enough to verify for you, I'm a practitioner. Of course, I'm going to say it works. Okay? But this is what I can say. For those of people who have enough astrology out there to locate their Mars, where Mars was in your birth chart when you were born. I don't think I can say it any simpler than that. Get a copy of your birth chart. Find the glyph that looks like a circle with an arrow pointing off to the diagonal. This is the planet Mars. Next to that, in most charts, are going to be a set of numbers, and it's going to be sitting in a zone between 2 lines, between 2 margins. And there are 2 types of margin. There's a sign margin and a house margin, but we're concerned about what sign Mars is in here. For anybody you ever fucking meet, white, black, yellow, male, female, I'm giving you, if you practice astrology, here goes a parlor trick for your ass to prove the validity, all right? The Mars is in a specific sign of the zodiac. That sign represents a particular part of every human being's body, okay? So it's not a diversity thing here. Aries is always their head and face. So if Mars is in Aries, there's a wound or a healing process that goes on in this physical location of the body. Head and face, okay? Which excludes the left ear and excludes inside your mouth, the lower jaw. All right? But over the rest of that belong to Aries, and the eyeballs belong to Cancer. All right? So Mars and Cancer are people that have been poked in the eyeball. Mars and Virgo are people that have inflammation of the lungs. Mars and Gemini are people Mars and Gemini are people that have had inflammation of the lungs. People that had mad tattoos all over their arm is Mars and Gemini. Okay? So that right there, you can verify it by practice. Find Mars, but you got to be correct. You must be correct as to the correspondence between the sign.
And you're dealing with tropical astrology.
Oh, yes, we must mention that.
We want to make that part known.
Well, then you need to, because it's not going to be the same sidereally. This doesn't work sidereally at all. At present, it does if you're in the common zone, where the tropical and the sidereal sign overlaps. You're going to have this applicability. It works there. After that little 5 degrees, which is diminishing, after that's over, after that overlap is over, it will be no good to the siderealists. All right? So you understand that, and I'm not downing the siderealists, because I can't use Vimsotry with locating the tropical moon. I have to locate it sidereally in order to even do Vimsotry. So you know, I'm not dissing siderealists. But as far as the wound the physical, anatomical definition and delineation is concerned, I advise you to work with the tropical zodiac. I don't care what you use.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so yeah, so I've demonstrated this shit on in public several times. Every time I ever came on KTL radio, big ups to my boy, the red pill, blue pill, you dig, and Abundance Child, and on the Abundance Network, I demonstrated it every reading, just to prove, to give veracity, validity to the practice, because we can tell Mars is a cut. It is a burn. It is an infection. It is a scrape, a rash, a red mark. All right? A cut or a scrape. It is a bleeding. It represents blood. Okay? Period. Whether you're bleeding or not, it's blood. It's the capillaries of the blood. This is what it gives indication to. Right? So if Mars is in Gemini, which rules the arms from fingertip to fingertip and everything on it, which is the fingers, the wrist, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the collarbone, the shoulder blade. So when we see it in Gemini, we know physically something on this part of the body is going to have a Mars experience. It's going to be cut, burned, infected, or a rash is going to have happened there, or a mark with a sharp or hot instrument. So now you can use that in your delineations from now on. And then usually, but not always. Do you fucking hear me? Usually, but not always. That's the issue with astrology. Because Mercury in Aries is just like Mars in Gemini.
Right.
You can say, oh, I got a cut on my arm. These things you can experience by transit or progression. Let that go over the heads of the audience. Like you weren't born with it, but in the immediate days after your birth, it happened while you were a baby. Yeah, well, you got it in your life too. You see, but you don't know that. But the days after your life continue to tell the story that your birth chart begins. Your birth chart is just page 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it does definitely. Astrology should be known that it is complex. It's not so complex that nobody can learn.
I think you're getting too much with that.
I mean, you did.
Page 1.
You did, but not too much. I was actually going to say, like when you were mentioning Sidereal, I heard you say somewhere before, like measurement systems. Like you're not going to argue necessarily like between inches and centimeters. But I like what you said about paying attention specifically to tropical astrology. I hope in a little bit too, we can go a little bit more into that.
Okay, here it goes.
Yeah.
Here it goes. When you go to buy raid to kill bugs in your house, one raid is made for flying bugs. The other raid is made for the crawling bugs. One kills roaches, the other one roaches dine on. Okay, basically, okay? So the astrologically speaking, that is the sidereal, the tropical. I'm not going to get an accurate account of Dasha Bhukti and Terra Dasha activity without the sidereal system, because it was built. It's a system of prediction built from a sidereal platform. Just like you got cars that are built with the metric system. I'm not going to use the standard English tool set on this motherfucking car, man. I need some metric tools. You dig what I'm saying? So, but either way, I'm still dealing with a car.
Right.
Which is the life of the individual in this scenario, right? So, I mean, there are specific approaches to certain answers, certain questions that sidereally you need to use the sidereal measure for, because it was fashioned out of the sidereal observation.
It would make sense then.
Yeah. So then it's the same for the tropical. You're not going to tell me one is superior than the other because you're better at one than the other. You see?
Right.
Because that's not your decision to make.
Right.
I guarantee you, all of the astrologers I meet, whether they're tropical or sidereal, want to get with my system, and my system works regardless which system you want to subscribe to. It's like, I don't even care. It's not an issue, honey. You dig what I'm saying? It's, it's like we're out of toilet paper while I'm walking up the driveway with a crate of this shit. See? It's not an issue. You see? It's not an issue. So it's only an issue to those people that don't know better, to novices and people that are feeding in the controversy. All right. Number one, the sidereal measure is taken with consideration regarding the position of the earth, the sun, and a specific fixed star or group of fixed stars in the sky. You're using these 3 coordinates specifically to determine your zodiac. Whereas the tropical is strictly using the relationship between the earth, the sun, and the daylight hours. Nothing to do with the stars. We're not even taking them into consideration in this measure. They have aught to do with the construction of our zodiac. Okay? So you're already talking bananas and pumpkins here.
People are definitely doing that. I have something I want to show you too, and we want to watch that came up that we saw. Marie brought it to my attention.
Motherfucker.
Get me started. Your passion is what makes this shit excited. So
I like getting them started because, like, when you be live, I know I'm not going nowhere for a couple hours.
Listen, I'm sick and tired of the preconceived notions. You don't know astrology till you practice it.
Yes,
right. It's like you've never been swimming, but you done read every book. You done been to every swim meet, but you ain't never been in the water. Okay, right. So while you can talk about swimming and his technique and his form and the way she holds her breath and she was poised perfectly as she entered the water, and you can do all that, you still can't swim with a motherfucker if you ain't been in that water. You don't know a goddamn thing about swimming. Okay, you know about watching people swim.
Hell yeah!
It's the same thing with an astrology book. You're listening to somebody who has practiced the shit. You're learning what they have observed and what they are able to describe from their observation. Whereas you may need to do the exact same thing they did. That's what the book is for. So you can know what to do, not what to say.
Thank you.
You know, I think a lot of people, not even for astrology, would appreciate you saying that. It goes for every fucking industry.
You're right. It
across
does.
the board. Every industry feels this way. Whether you're a doctor and you got somebody who's never been through medical school trying to tell you what's up. You got people who are in software engineering and someone saying, well, why can't you just fix this bug? But they've never, I've read this book and they've never actually done any coding.
Right.
So just that sentiment that's being applied here can be applied to every industry as well. It's the same sentiment.
That being said, that you've walked with me this far, then now, if you memorize your birth chart, see, this is not simple shit I'm about to tell you. Obviously, it's not, because, man, I tell you, it's not simple. Okay? Why? I have students. I entertain all different types of people in the educational realm regarding this science. So I can say some are brighter than others, okay? But even the dimmest get this eventually. Okay. Each planet sits at a certain place in your chart. Throughout every year, the sun is going to sit on those places. He's going to sit where Mercury was when you were born once this year. He's going to sit exactly where Mars was when you were born. The sun is going to just pass over it for one day. But when he does, he's going to activate those planetary qualities. So you don't really get to know how to delineate in my class until you've been practicing for a whole year. Yeah, when I said this to one of my students, he was like, wait. What the fuck does that mean? I said, what do you mean? He was getting hot too, because in his mind is, nigga, I done gave you $2,500 to learn this shit. And I still ain't gonna know shit when I graduate from your class. I said, oh, goddamn, where was it in the contract that you're going to learn everything in the world?
Why do people think that?
In 5 months. But the point of the matter is, what I'm teaching you is how to measure and predict in 7 different ways. That's what I'm doing. Okay? So I got 7 different ways to project your birth chart. And they're all mathematical. That's what you're learning from me. Once you learn how to do the measure, you know when to expect these things. Well, you're not going to know them until after you conscientiously and consciously say, I'm having a Mars today. I need to see some Mars shit. Go out and see an abundance of Mars shit. And then you watch every time you have a Mars, how this shit don't happen every day.
Right.
It only happens on the day that you're having the Mars, that you've measured your Marses. if you measure properly. See, there it goes. If you measure properly. See, in cosmophysics, there is no delineation without a planetary station. And there is no planetary station without motion leading up to that station. And therein is the delineation, not otherwise. No other means of delineation is required. You see? In other words, we need to know when you're having a Mars so you can watch it, so you can come back and tell me what Mars meant.
Okay. Yes.
After you've seen Mars once a month for 5 months, if you don't get it by the 6th time, maybe you'll get it on the 12th. Maybe you get it, but you will have the measure by which to measure it. You see, that's what you're getting when you come to my school. Because I get all kind of astrologers who've been studying astrology for a decade, for 15 years, for 20 years. And then I ask these niggas, do you predict? Oh, of course I do. Using the transits. Okay, what about any other method? I use day per year, and that's where you get caught up at. Right there. You use day per year? That's interesting. See, this is where they all run to. That is the jar that your monkey ass is gonna stick your hand in. You're gonna grab that fruit in the jar, and then you ain't gonna be able to get your hand out. You see, I caught you. You're using day per year, day per month. I'm using fractals. I'm using solar arcs. I got one question for your ass. How long is a day? And how long is a year? How long is a month? See? Oh, 30 days. See, no. That's not a question for you to answer. Was a question. It's you telling me that you do predictive astrology. How the fuck long is a month? How long is a year? Fuck it. How long is a year? Because you know there are animalistic months. There are different type of months. You know,
Right.
Yeah, draconic months and solar months and lunar months and all different. There's 9 different types of months that we can just grab ass at off the top. So when you say I'm making a month per year, what kind of month are you fucking talking about? Oh, what do you mean? What kind of month? Yeah, see, you're not doing predictive astrology. You like that shit. You would like to do it, but you're not doing it because you can't even tell me what kind of month you're working with.
Astro.com. What do you mean? I just
right. I'm
The lunar calendar app.
I've had.
Right.
I'm not gonna mention no names. And since all evidence of it is gone, because I would not ruin the nigga's career with this shit, but he told me I use secondary progressions under a 17th harmonic. And then I said, which system do you calculate by? I didn't ask you what calculations you go to Astrodynx and use.
Yeah, he was Astrodynx.
Yeah, you use that, nigga. You don't I said you don't calculate a goddamn thing. What you do is you put the birth information in the chart field, and then you click a button that does the calculation for you. You have no doubt as to whether that calculation is even mistaken or not.
Right. And they make mistakes. Oh my gosh. And if the more that you study astrology, you start to see in apps where things make what did one we saw just recently? The woman who said that the sun was stuck in Virgo because the app said so. And then another one who said it's the end of the world because all the planets are on one side, but the app is switching. If you don't know, if you know astrology well enough, you'll look down and be like,
no,
somebody got a bug in here because this is impossible. Like this would never happen.
You see, the thing is too, as long as all you're studying about astrologically is the definitions of things, without watching their emotion, you need to consider that. You need to consider that. Okay. Consider your own temperament. Coming from an argument with your spouse, going to your mama's house while you in the car, and your nigga still agging the fuck out your ass while you driving to your mother's house. Now imagine your emotional disposition there. Okay? Now, that's one scenario. I want you to keep that scenario in so I don't lose it later, right? That you're traveling from an argument with your partner to your mother's house. Imagine that state of mind, that whole scenario. If you had to do a quick little video and store it up here, do that. Do that. Envision. Conceptualize that. Okay. Once that's done, consider the fact that that is the moon, you, going from Mars to your 4th ruler. So in the birth chart, in the natural sky, Mars is sitting between your Mars degree and the degree of your fourth ruler, which is an indication of the mother. All right. Now, I can tell you what that moon is. That moon is aggravated as fuck. It's upset. It doesn't want to talk. It needs to pay attention to what it's doing as opposed to what the fuck it just came from. And I can look at the chart and see it. Just that moon just came from an interaction with Mars. And I can see the moon moving towards your fourth ruler. Let's say we're reading a Virgo rising. That means that it's moving towards Jupiter. You see? Now I can read that moon in Aries. Right? I can read that moon. Oh, you mad as fuck right now, Aries. And you just visited Mars. So, and you on your way to your Jupiter, so chill. Now I can read that moon. But just knowing that that moon is in Aries with no other context as to where it's been and where it's going. So when people come at you, I got the moon here. What does that mean? It means that you need to bring your chart to me.
Right.
What it means specifically is that I need to see your whole chart to talk about your moon.
Right.
You dig? I need to see what situation your moon is sitting in before I can even do. Well, it's in Gemini. Okay, well, I already know you got a zillion questions that you need answers and you ain't got no direction, obviously. I didn't get that from the chart. I get that from the fact that I just told you I need to see your chart.
And that's how you responded.
And you just totally sidestepped bringing me your chart. So I already know that moon is afflicted like fucking Gemini. I can give it some context. Okay.
What was the video you wanted to show, Janét?
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that because I'm listening to him. Ra, in keeping with seeing the misinformation that's out here about astrology, and since we're already talking about its validity, Marie sent me this video. I watched this video. I need everybody to watch this video because I really need to hear your opinion. I'll give mine too. Marie will give hers on why this is sideways as fuck. There's no other way for me to... That's the nicest thing I can come up with. So let's check this out.
Ex-astrologer Angela Ucci exposes astrology in a way that you've probably never heard before. Listen to her testimony at the end.
Every zodiac sign is a demon. When you come into agreement with the zodiac sign, with the birth chart, the moon cycles, whatever, you are literally yoking to a demon of that particular sign or element because you are taking its identity as your own identity. You are coming into agreement with the personality traits that the zodiac assigns you, right? Signs you, the zodiac assigns you. So if you say, oh, I'm an Aries, just unpredictable and full of rage, that is you yoking yourself to the unclean spirit of that zodiac. Because demons are spirits without a body. They need a home. Astrological birth chart spoke the demonic prophecy of Gemini over me. And when I spoke that over myself, I was giving the spirit of double-mindedness permission to operate through me. And guess what I was? I was double-minded.
Be sure to hit that follow. I'll be bringing more light to the darkness.
Who wants to speak first?
She was double-minded by switching anyway.
Me.
Yes, go, Rob.
First of all, man has assigned meaning to the zodiac sign.
There we go.
Man assigns meaning to the zodiac sign. Okay. She has a lot of shit backwards, but number one, she knows she's talking to the ignorant. She's not talking to astrologers. She's not trying.
Exactly.
There's nothing in her tone or presentation that even gives me the slightest hint that she is trying to convert me with that garbage. Okay, she ain't talking to me. She's talking to
And isn't it borrowed?
She is
that ideology.
Yeah. I know exactly where she get it. It's been on TikTok already. And these are people that I tried to get popular using astrology, and it doesn't work for me. Let me tell everybody out there one thing.
It's a demon.
You gain access to the public with this motherfucking craft by being good at it, not by convincing people that you're good at it. You have to be good at this shit. Okay? All the astrologers I know love my style. Do you get that? All of them that I know love my style. Okay? Because my style is strictly planetary motion-based delineation and measure. You dig? Right. You cannot go wrong As long as you keep it astrological. This is why I'm so fucking tight. Why my style is so tight. Because I'm telling you, I follow the rules.
And astrology has rules.
Excellent boxer
Yes.
follows all of the rules, all of the Queensberry rules, and he is proficient as fuck with every one of the Queensberry rules. This is what makes him a champion, makes him an excellent contender. This is why he's able to knock motherfuckers out, because he's using the technique. The science of boxing is bigger than him. It's the science of astrology. It ain't me.
Right.
So I'm just telling y'all, I stay rigid to the rules. And psychic astrologers are giving you the disclaimer that they are making shit up as they go along, as well as using what's at their disposal in the chart. These intuitive astrologers are telling you that I'm guessing a lot of these shit, and when I get it right, we're going to call it intuition, because you can't say that it's not intuition if it's correct. Okay, secondly, because, you know, this is how the hoods are winked. This is how you get hoodwinked. You see what I'm saying? Because, I know where Mars, what part of the body Mars is there on your body. If you got a cut on your arm, I can reverse engineer that. That's Mars in the third house, Mars in bad aspect of Mercury, Aries on the third cusp, or you understand what I'm saying? There's variables that say cut on the arm. So once you reverse engineer the shit, it's over. It's already right there for you. This is what you do when you come to get a reading from me. Well, I'm looking at your birth chart. The reason why I'm reading it to you is because I'm gauging whether it's correct or not. The time of birth you gave. You think that's what you're paying for. That's not what that's not really what you're paying for. What you're paying for is for me to line it up with your testimony. Now that it's in line with your testimony, it's going to continue to unravel if your testimony is true. In other words, if this happened on this day, and that day, like you said, then that concurs with these three motions, and it will concur going forward in the future. I'm only charging you for that service right there. Or you can come to my school and learn how to do it yourself. Okay? Or you can teach yourself like I did. It takes a long time to figure it all out. But go ahead. So, you know, this science is valid when you practice it for the second time. Not until you practice it. You don't know that the water is wet until you get in it.
Right.
Yeah, I can't describe for you what Song Ho restaurant in Peking is like. I mean, I can describe it for you, but you'll never know what the dumplings taste like until you go there.
And what I say when I looked at that video, a couple of things that popped up to me is, in her situation, because they start off with, it gets you a lot of attention. If you look like you're doing astrology and you're hitting some things on the mark, or you're making it entertaining, then you'll get attention for it. They'll come to you for counsel, or they'll come to you to understand themselves. And what I got from her they said she was a professional astrologer. She
ain't a good one.
Astrologer. And then all of a sudden it doesn't work. That doesn't really happen. If you're good at something, you're going to keep doing it until something astronomical happens and you're injured. Like, no football player who is excellent at his craft just all of a sudden goes, football is evil, I hate it, because he's good at it. He's going to want to keep doing it. So what I find is that those people, because they're not practicing it as a craft, they get called out for being incorrect. Because they want the attention and they get hooked to it, they proclaim themselves as always being right, when real astrologers know that there's room for error, because either you're reading the right chart or you're reading the wrong chart. Yeah. You have to figure out where you're going wrong to try to find out how you can go right. So you get too many complaints. You're attracted to the attention. You're not really good at it. So it's easy for you to give up. Turns a person who gets called out repetitiously to end up saying, well, fuck it then. It's just evil since you guys say that I'm fit. But you started off not being real, making people assume that this was not just a hobby or something you did for attention, but that you were actually passionate about what you were doing and what you were learning.
You know, because I'm a real astrologer. That's all I claim to be, a real one. All that master, expert, professional. I'm a real astrologer. I do real astrology. Okay. I measure the planets. I don't put them right where they should be to me. I don't say that they mean. I don't say that 1 + 1 means 3 to me. So that's what it is. And all you guys are just trying to attack me. You know, that's where that goes, man. And it's because the internet is a social tool and it allows for a high degree of human interaction. You're going to bump into all kinds.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And this is life. Okay. Well, what our job really is to show people what valid astrology is, as opposed to the validity of astrology, because the astrology is going to show its own validity. It validates itself.
It sure do.
First of all, what she didn't recognize in her tape, when she said, when I said I'm in Aries, so I'm angry, and you're using that to justify your anger, that's demonic. Yes, that is. Yes, that is. You're using the natural state of things to make it worse. In other words, there's trash on the floor, so I might as well continue to throw trash on it.
Right.
So that is demonic. Number one, you have to subscribe to the belief in demons first.
Yes.
I don't believe in angels and demons. Okay? Fuck you with your scripture. You got the shit from scripture. You ain't never seen one. I don't give a fuck what you're trying to convey to me. There's no such thing. Okay? There's no such thing as far as I'm concerned. So and then we have to understand where this originates, this whole idea. Okay? Is that you had in the Middle East the Gnostics, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Baal worship, Mithraism, Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism, this whole concoction of all these different beliefs, right? That are all emerged out of astrological practice. Every single thing I just named and everything else that I didn't name, it emerges out of celestial science in the first place, all your religion, okay? You Muslims, they worship in space. Anything you say about space, you can say about the Most High, okay? You know, the man started worshiping the ground. We worship the earth god, Gavin, earthquake god, Talak, and Olokun, and the gods that cause turbulence in the earth are who we worship first. Then we realize, goddamn, you know, that shit happens. Every time that happens, them stars be aligned and shit. So we took our attention from catastrophes and put it on the stars. Oh, now we worship the sky. Oh, shit, we got time. You know? And man evolved till eventually when he's like, damn, the planets do the same thing year after year after year after year. They ain't the real cause of all this shit. They just happening with all the, oh, shit, that ain't God either. Well, what is God now? So God is all-encompassing, all-knowing, incomprehensible. That sounds like space to me. Out of space, out of the depths, out of the womb of space, cometh every form, and back into it goes everything. It is absolute. No matter where you go, it's space. And everything that exists in space. And space exists in everything. And space is an ever-unfolding, ever-recalling nature that just has always absolutely been there since the beginning of time. And no matter where you go, it's there. And it has knowledge of everything because it contains everything. Like, this is God.
Yeah.
All right?
Love it.
Really, it's not. We can measure space. Space, the measurement of space gives birth to time.
Yeah.
And out of that measure and out of that cometh the science of astrology. So you have to understand that astrology is not a belief system. And it is not, it is a tool to help you know what you've already been prescribed for you. Prescribed dead. You know, like I don't even know how to say it. It was beforehand.
I'm cracking up.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is, like, my children exhibit the qualities that the planets represent in their birth chart. When they were 2 and 3 years old, specifically, it gets really manifest in their behavior if they become able more to express it. So when you say that I subscribe to it, that you have these qualities before you realize what sign you were born under. You're doing Gemini shit as a Gemini before you even know that your birthday with the sun in fucking Gemini. You idiot.
Right.
So you make this video because fuck it. Most people don't know what astrology is. And most people don't like astrology because of the propaganda. I can use that to get views, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like these astrologers who who run the gambit with this Mercury's retrograde cycle, and there's no other exploitable retrograde cycle.
No, they don't explain on.
It's always
them.
Mercury, and
It's always he the only one.
And then it created features for the motion that don't exist, like its shadow period. Okay, if that is so valid, then people born in the shadow period should all have shadow period traits.
Yeah.
Okay, and when a person has progressed into a shadow period, they should have shadow period overshadowings. Okay, that's not happening. So shadow period of Mercury retrograde is a tool to grab those who are ignorant of the signs, their attention. The astrologers back in the day were like, I need yearly income. I need cyclic income, man. Well, every time, I need a bunch of people coming at me at least 2 or 3 times. Oh, I can use the Mercury retrograde cycle. Hey, y'all, Mercury about to go retrograde. You better get reading. See, now this is the catch. It's time to get a reading when you're having a Mercury retrograde, but Mercury retrograde is bad for all Mercury things, which reading is a Mercury thing. So I would say that if that's true, then you're supposed to get a reading during a Mercury retrograde. Now what?
Facts.
Yeah, man. Fuck out of here, man. It's all about the hoopla. Mercury goes retrograde every 121 to 120 days. What does that mean? Why is that significant? Because it takes exactly that long for the sun to move 120 degrees to the sky. And that aspect is a trine. So Mercury always goes retrograde in a place trine from the last place he went retrograde from. That sounds pretty fucking good to me, astrologically speaking. So all this negativity that you hear from these astrologers is only the astrologers who can't even explain to you the mechanics of the Mercury retrograde cycle, much less convince me that this shit has any significance. The real significant part of a retrograde, any retrograde, is that planet casts 3 aspects to a specific degreeage in a very short period of time. Whereas normal motion, Mercury stays there for maybe 1-2 days and it's gone. And you're not going to see that again until the next time Mercury comes over that station. Where if Mercury is retrograde, you get that one time when he rolls over, you get that one time when he comes back, and then you get one time when he moves forward again. So now this might happen on one of your natal planets or over a sensitive point in your chart, a midpoint or whatever the fuck. So you see triple the incidents that points to in your life. This is the significance of a retrograde motion in cosmophysics. All that bullshit, you shouldn't sign contracts during retrograde Mercury. What if Mercury is trine in your 7th ruler? Which means, in other words, it behooves you to sign.
It behooves you.
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde got them listening Mercury to the wrong motherfucker. They'll take advantage of.
Right. You really got 3 opportunities to sign.
Right.
You may have 3 options. Which one should I take? Take the one that's going the last retrograde. Take the last motion. Or take the middle. Or take the first. Who gives a fuck? Because Amtrak started when Jupiter was retrograde. Isn't that a Jupiter business? Mercury was retrograde when Bell Atlantic went retrograde while Mercury was retrograde. Isn't Mercury a communication planet? Isn't Bell Atlantic a communication company? Or Uranus was retrograde when General Electric went debuted in the public. Doesn't Uranus deal with electricity? Should they not be doing that? You dig? These 3 companies specifically have never needed a government bailout. Hell the fuck. Oh, hello. You dig? So how bad can a retrograde be?
Yes.
More of this, please.
I mean,
on the internet.
Y'all got to get more. Yeah, well, really, I'm going to be honest with y'all. For years and years, I'm out here combating the ignorance regarding this science. It actually propels my business for people to not know this shit.
No, I understand what you're saying.
But, if I was in it strictly for the money, you don't need to study astrology. Just leave that up to me.
Right. You could be a gatekeeper.
Right. You're a gatekeeper. Right.
Right. So listen, I am a gatekeeper. You come to my school, it is a rigorous course. Okay? It's rigorous because there's so much you got to know. You dig? And And it's rigorous because I'm not having any half-stepping. You're fully committed, or you can go away. Or I don't even need your money. Don't even get in it. If you're not fully committed, don't even try to get in my class because your money's no good. You see, it's a commitment to precision measuring.
And math, right? So anyone coming to you,
well, you need to
what
know
do they
how
need
to
to know how to
add,
do?
subtract, multiply, and divide. So it's not math like I demand that you're able to do trigonometrical equations.
Right.
Okay? You need to be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And you need to be able to check your own fucking math. Period.
With the people being dedicated to it in the commitment, you said it's a commitment to precision and accuracy. If you could describe the course in general, I know you said what people are getting from it, but what could they expect? I know a lot of people have been interested. See people watching your lives all the time or discussing the things that come up. So again, what sort of astrology student or practitioner is Cozmophyzix for? I mean, I think it's for everybody. What I'm saying is, who's not going to waste your time?
It's only for the diligent. When people say, it's only if you're not a diligent student, don't come. You a dabbler, continue to dabble elsewhere. We don't dabble over here. We guzzling over here, not dabbling. Okay? And if your throat can't handle the guzzle, don't come. The guzzle is we adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, and we're not dealing with any numbers very much greater than 1,440, which in terms of money is $14.40. So if that's too much money for you to manage, if I can't trust you to come back with correct change, if I give you 1,440 pennies, which is $14.40, then you don't need to be in Cozmophyzix. Yeah, there isn't. You think it's for everybody. It's not. Because everybody don't like to add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
You're right. That's true. That's true.
It's for those who are inclined to long division. If you can do long division, you can do Cozmophyzix. If you can do 8th grade math, you don't even need to be a fucking genius in math, man. You need to be able to divide without asking me to check your fucking work. That sounds pitiful. If I have to do that, you need to go back to elementary school and learn how to divide. Because I get all the math we're doing in my school, in my method, I was doing in the 5th grade. All the math that we do in this, I was doing in the 5th grade without astrology. You understand?
Right.
Yeah. So it's 5th grade math level, really. This
okay.
Yeah. So I tell you, if I have to check your math, then don't come.
Y'all heard it here first. I did want to also mention. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I have too many students as it is.
Yeah.
And I found a way to weed out those who can do math for real, those who can't. There's one equation. It lets me know how intelligent you are or aren't. What is 1,440 divided by 4? I'll just pick a number like that. I'm not always going to use 1,440. So don't think because you saw it on this podcast, I'm going to
go write it down. I know that.
I know the answer.
I know that when he hit me with it because I do other shit. I do other shit too. Like asking nigga how long a day is. See? How long is a day? If we're not using, I'm talking about an astrological day. I'm not talking about a calendar day. See? You don't know the difference of that, then I suggest you do some research. But that's what we're doing. We're defining the difference between geometric and calendric measure.
Right.
A year is not 365.25 days. A year is 360 degrees. And a day is not 360 degrees long in anybody's school. Mm-hmm. You see, it's not how long a day is. So you have to define some of these things. That's what we're doing. Because it's for lack of definition that the science is mistaken for some kind of hoopla con, word game. Bullshit. Semantics can be applied to it. No, it can't.
Yeah.
No semantics. Oh, I just wanted to mention real quick. Yes. I'm sorry. Like, we cut each other off. There are people who purchased guaranteed readings with you, Ra. I just wanted to let them know we'll get to those, but some people may not be aware there is a link for you to actually join. You can't just send us information. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to when we start the reading portion, but Rod will need to actually speak to you. So there are people already waiting, but if you have purchased a reading, we encourage you to come up here and join. I did put the link in the chat.
When did you want to start doing the questions? 11 in about 15 minutes?
Yes, and I wanted to make sure Ra got a break because he be dropping so many jewels, and there's a lot of energy being put into this. He should get a break. We should get a break. So
well, I would say that for because one of the questions I was like, I wanted to be that's Mercury retrograde. I swear to God, it's causing my actually it's my Chiron in Gemini and my Mercury conjunct Neptune. No, but what people can do to, I guess it's just a matter of who you're dealing with to find out whether they're a charlatan or not. Like there isn't really a test that you can do because someone can use real valid astrology to garner their popularity, right, or their following, and you won't know unless you actually get a reading with them, which is the risk because you could be spending money with someone who's just doing a printout for you and they don't actually know astrology.
Exactly.
So in that sense, what is it that someone can do to protect themselves when they are seeking astrologers? Well, one of the things that I would say is that, are they transparent enough to say that they can be incorrect? That would be like one of my things as far as a personality, because we know there's room for error. The planetary placements are never wrong. Our delineations can, in fact, be off the mark as far as what was manifested. So, for example, we could give a prediction saying that you're having a Mars motion. Since we've been using Mars, somebody must be having a Mars. We keep talking about it.
Who is it?
Right, that there might be a Mars motion, and we could say, well, you might get into an argument or a disagreement with someone. And depending on where it is, it's in, let's say it's the fourth cusp, and we say, well, you might experience an argument or disagreement with your mother or a family member or a woman or something over domesticity issues. That is that's a correct delineation. But what they end up experiencing is their house burning down, which is also Mars on the fourth cusp. So I wanted to make that clear, because then a person would say, well, you were incorrect. My house actually fell down. I didn't get into a fight at home, but Mars says fight and fourth cusp says home. So there are things like that with delineations that happen. The planetary, if they are calculating properly, and you see that a prediction did happen when they said it was going to happen. So yes, you didn't argue, but something definitely happened that day, that both of them are actually Mars activities, because each planetary placement, each sign, each aspect actually indicates a million things that fit into that descriptive planet. So Mars will never be, Mars won't be water. We can't say, oh, your house is going to get flooded with Mars in the fourth house. We would most likely, but Mars is fire, and anything having to do with heat and fighting and arguments and disagreements and disruptions of some sort, whatever it is to make you angry or flustered, police activity, things of that matter. But we can't fit it and then say, well, Mars is also you're sleepy, unless that shit happens to be in Neptune. It's pretty much all these layers. So I guess just trying to understand these things to help protect people and to help them understand a little bit more as to what they're getting and what things mean, so that they're not hoodwinked or following people who had them all on their trail. I'm a professional astrologer. I amass hundreds of thousands of followers, and in a blink of an eye, I turn around and tell you it's all fake. That shit right there is soul crushing. I really don't appreciate that happens, especially for everyone that may have depended on her counsel or look to her to save their life, because there are a lot of people whose lives are saved with astrology.
Believe me, they already got that bitch ass about her.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
This is why
good.
Because she, number one, you got to be good at this craft to do it.
Yes.
Right.
So anybody that says, "Oh, take it from me, I was an astrologer," just ask them how many days in a lunar month. You ain't got a clue. So that's the extent. We know that your astrology didn't get beyond the study of the moon. So didn't even get to the study of the moon. You see? So whatever you got to say, so that's how you test them. You ask them a fact that you got access to too regarding astrology. And I said a fact, not the meaning
Yes.
thing.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
you ask them a fact. You do day per year progressions. Okay, you have to understand that back in the Persia, right, when Islam and the Caliphate became in charge, right? That area, the Middle East, was filled with astrological lore, doctrine, cults, and belief systems. Okay, whether they were using valid astrology or not, for the sake of this, right? So when Christianity or Islam or any one of the monotheistic religions came into force, their major competition are the astrologers. So it gets demonized. So this story comes from a book, an old Persian manuscript that they say ancient. Now, what the fuck do you mean by ancient? Because what? It can't be more than 1,500 years old. So it's not ancient. You dig? It's old. But yeah, but this manuscript that comes out of Persia, and it describes the demon of every sign. And then you got people who incorporated the science of astrology into their demonology.
Yeah.
True.
So that has nothing to do with astrology. The demon worshippers and demon believers applied astrology to their beliefs, and now she's trying to use that to debunk the science of astrology. Astrology preceded all of that circusry.
Right.
Right. Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Did you want to go ahead and give like a 5-minute break, let Raw get some water, and then we'll come back at 11:30 and then start taking the questions, and then that way people can see, a little bit about what's involved when it comes to an astrologer reading someone, and what kind of factors are considered, and what one can do with it.
Y'all don't want to miss this part. I mean, you didn't want to miss
Right.
any of it, really. If you,
Really?
especially if you're following and understanding and really getting an understanding for how astrology is valid. But you're going to see it in action. So we're going to go ahead and give a break, and we'll be back in about 7 minutes.
Okay.
Everybody up here, just thank you,
Hang
Rob, for
out.
being here. Yes.
Y'all go to the bathroom. Well, why do we have to tell them? They don't have to, they can get up.
They
Take
still on the air, or they're looking at a screen holder.
Well, we're still on the air, so like you put your camera off, yourself on mute or something.
Right.
Have a break. So that's what I'm gonna do too.
And hide it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I just put the link. If you purchased a reading from Ra, we are asking that you come into the live. You'll be in kind of like a waiting room at first. We'll put people up here in order of them having gotten readings. Marie, did you want to say anything else or before we got into that portion or?
No. Well, just to kind of, I guess we can give people a little bit of a heads up as to how that goes. You know, he'll
Okay.
ask for your time of birth and your birth date, and then the method. Of course, he'll probably go into this as well, but just so that we have it iterated twice, he'll ask for validation for that to ensure that he is in fact reading the correct chart. So there'll be a series of questions in order to ascertain whether or not the time of birth and the chart correlate. And then you'll get into whatever the question is for the reading.
Yes, and I'll read those. They've typed them out already, Ra. Some are long, but I'll advise you appropriately, okay? Okay. Oh, I couldn't hear you at first.
Nah, I wasn't speaking.
Oh, okay. But when you started moving your mouth, I ain't hear nothing.
Oh.
I got you now.
Okay.
It's pretty much like she said, but we'll see how it goes because it's different every time.
Okay. Yeah. So the first person that we're going to welcome up is Bashir. Bashir, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Ahku, much pleasure meeting you, good brother. Janét, Miss Marie, how you doing? Good evening, ladies.
He did provide his date of birth as July 11th, 1982.
Yes.
What time?
11, believe it or not, 11:07.
In the morning or
a.m. a.m.
Yes, and I'll read those. They've typed them out already.
You like the color black? Huh? A lot?
It's not necessarily, but I do always wind up
for a
with
motor vehicle? Neutral color for a motor vehicle. Gray, black.
Yes. Black.
Black. Right.
Black.
So you know. I would never, don't start fucking around with the vocabulary here, right? I'm never going to use the words you would use to describe yourself. And the reason why I say that is because the answer to the question was yes when I first asked it, all right? When you make up your mind about something, it's kind of hard to change that shit, okay? You need an act of God or some solid-ass proof, all right, to change your motherfucking mind, okay? Especially if it's regarding something that you want. Right? And your criteria for friendship is based entirely on the trust system. So when you don't trust a motherfucker, you're wondering why they're even around you. Okay? You know? And okay, your memory for historic facts or details in general is off the fucking meat rack. You're a puzzle solver, a mental bender obsessor. Okay? You get obsessed with mental benders, and if you can't figure it out, something's wrong because you're going to figure all that shit out. I would like to say that your advice to your friends is fucking excellent. It's to yourself that you need to take second consideration because you're able to detach yourself from somebody else's life. And in your own dynamic, you're taking a lot of things personally. Let's speed shit up. Between 2012 and 2015, you redefined how you're going to be investing yourself into close, intimate, personal relationships, physically and or financially. You have a whole new criteria now for that activity, right? And from 2015 to 2018, a redefinition of your entire educational catalog was on par with one of your ambitions. Relocation may have been one of the strongest indications or refurbishing of transportation of some sort. All right? It ain't never too late to go back to school. You've been teaching yourself personally, if not formally, since that time. Between 2018 and 2021, it was like growing up all over again or realizing your grownhood all over again. and you started telling people that didn't mind. I mean, that didn't matter to you. I know that shit sounds cruel. Let me find a better way to say it. People who weren't able to assist you with your betterment, getting the back burner, and people who are more able to assist you coming to the fore. And those people who do not have like minds are behind you now. And it's like now you're like, all people with like minds over here. We're having a like mind convention. And you niggas that didn't invite us because you don't have like minds. Ain't no love lost. You just ain't making time for these people. So you're redefining your social and professional network. And that's my sample right there.
Oh man, that was amazing. Amazing. Very, very on point, because from 2010 after, that's when I got out the Navy, and between 2012 and 2015, I had some real issues with the VA. And in 2015, that's when everything came to a head and life changed for me after that. Very, very much on point. That was an amazing reading. An amazing reading.
And in my opinion, man, no matter what you say, ain't nobody driving a car that ain't one of their favorite colors, man. Especially if they get a choice in what color and they assertive as to what color is going to be. Nigga, that's one of your favorite colors. So, you know.
Did he have a question, Janét, in that, or he just wanted the reading?
Well, he said he felt as though he feels as though he's at a crossroads in life and does not know which way to turn.
He's totally dissatisfied with his career choice and his lifestyle choices.
It says my career and beliefs clash.
And he wants to change the shit immediately, but no, nigga, this house been burning for a while. It's gonna take a lot more water than that little squirt gun you prepared for this fire. See, and that's what it is. He undoing, and see, he feels like he's undoing friends and family. No, you're not. They been undid their motherfucking self when you started enlightening yourself to truth. Okay? Right. You start accepting that their truth and your truth ain't the same. You made the disconnect right there. See, and it ain't got nothing. Love ain't got a fucking thing to do with it. You can love somebody from a distance, nigga. Okay?
Yes, you can.
You need to do you and get your foundation stable. I can say some things that on a public forum I'm not gonna do. You'd have to call me, man.
Number is right up there too. I'll make sure I send it to everybody that got readings too.
No, if you call me, I only promise your ass 5 minutes. That's
never mind. I'm sorry. I don't say it like that.
Everybody, if you call me, I promise you 5 minutes. So, you know, if you get more than that, you're lucky. But I promise you 5 minutes. That's
no problem. Yeah. And I'm sincerely appreciative of that. And I thank you. And
nobody knows, really man. Powerful. Your relief is found in the woods, literally.
Ahku.
You get it?
I got it.
Yeah, you love
it. I definitely got it.
Yeah, man. Fishing, hiking, camping, picnicking, anywhere there's a lot of natural green, nigga, your ass will be. Because your house has got plants in it. At least one room in that motherfucker is filled with plants, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, indeed.
You don't realize the comfort that it gives you. You just know you better have your fucking plants in there.
Plants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing. You can go out, walk in the woods, walk through the park, nigga. There goes your chill spot. Because you internalize all of your frustration in the name of you being social, cordial, etiquette, polite, and tactful. When that is excellent for everything I just named, to the nth degree, it sucks for you. Because you come home and there's no release for that shit. Until one day you feel somebody deserves it. And they don't. See what I'm saying? So you give me a holler. We'll talk about that.
Oh, I will. Most certainly will. Most certainly will. Hey,
thank you.
Can I do it after the show's over, or?
Please wait till any day between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After this show is over, I want to spend time with my family. Period.
Peace. Totally understandable, brother.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bashir, for being here.
Yes,
thank you,
I'll
ladies.
put up. You're welcome. Thank you for coming through. Okay.
Damn, that's amazing.
Okay. So next is Mo up there still? Where? Oh yes, Mo. Mo Divine.
Hello.
Hey, hi Mo.
Peace, everyone.
Peace. So Mo's birthday is 12/31/1989. And time of birth. Let's see. I didn't see that on there. Mo, can you give that to us?
11:16 a.m.
Does your feet still get cold every time you get out the water, no matter how hot it is outside?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Your favorite motto is, I'll never tell. You know people's secrets who you gonna die with, and they might already be dead, and still don't nobody know you know what you know about them. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're scared to death as a little girl. Boy, you so gullible. You believe in pink polka dot purple elephants, whatever you was told. You still believe
Yes.
in your dreams like fuck. You're gonna be spiritually pathed regardless what you do or don't do religiously. You heard that, right? You still had dreams about your folks. You know which folks I'm talking about, because they ain't with us no more. Right?
Yes.
You still talk to them in your dreams, right? Friends you can't rely on really don't mean shit to you. Nobody even knows that you're that fucking cold when it comes to true friendship too. If I can't rely on you, you ain't my true friend. That's just the end of the story. Because you can damn sure rely on me, huh? Ain't that your way in friendship? And uncles and aunts that own their own business, or elder siblings that have their own business, most definitely. And you are never gonna not be the explorer, okay? Which I would love to stay home until I get cabin fever. Then I would love to go the fuck out. But for the most part, you love to be at home, and the safety of your home means everything, okay? Probably got eyes all over that bitch. And let me see what else. So you would be comfortable with your own eyes all over it in every room. Square business. And let me see what else I'm reading. One of your siblings lived with you, or you lived with one of your siblings, and I mean outside of your mama's house. Siblings or cousins?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, and your father was in the transportation business, or he was a foreigner, or he was from a different city than the one you were born and raised in?
He lived. He's from where I'm from.
So was he a driver? Did he deal with transportation in his business dealings or in his career?
Yes he did drive trucks. Yes.
Okay, there you go. All right, that's good. That's another sample right there for you. She's a Pisces rising.
And she said, I'm a divine goddess embodied here in all my glory, changing the world one step at a time. I know I have a great purpose to be here, but at times I be feeling like, why me? Who am I? And what have I came here to do based on my chart? What will I have to work through to become successful in business and generate steady income?
That is a World Book encyclopedic response.
What part do you want to tackle first?
The last question. Where am I what?
So she wants to know what she'll have to do to work through to become successful in business and generate steady income.
She's talking to the transits right now. She's a Pisces rising, I just said, right? Mm-hmm. Naturally, Saturn is all in her face right now, right? Business. You should have been got down to business 5 years ago, nigga. When all your friends was or your elder siblings was doing that shit. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? 5 years ago, right? 5 to 6 years ago. You know, so now you in a position where you pressed by the indecision that you've experienced over the last 7 years. Okay. And I don't know the exact nature of the indecision. I just know that group activity was one of them. Your lack of engagement or your lack of receptivity to group influence. So now it's time for her to get her shit in order. She should be doing her own business or learning how to structure or run a business now. She had enough dealings with business management or supervisory positions. So even all of that is coming to account now, right? Your own status becomes very important. If you can get past any sufferings from the past, like your past traumas, you're dealing with past traumas that have to do with your success. Generally the reaction attitude to situations that appear to be A when they're really B is the best way I could put that.
No, you're absolutely 100% correct. I lost my job 5 years ago, but I was supposed to have left. When you mentioned my grandmother, she visits me a lot. She passed away in 2013, and I had went to the beach for the very first time Labor Day that year of 2018. And she told me to leave, and I didn't, and I ended up getting fired literally like 32 days later. And she told me to step out, and I was just kind of being afraid. Yeah, I was in my own way,
Well,
but now it's coming
your
back.
number one lesson on this planet, if I heard you ask the question, first question was your purpose on this planet, is to overcome your fears
Hmm.
with your scared ass.
Nah, yeah, I'm definitely in the process. That Saturn is
Listen, all
tearing me up.
Pisces, let me show you. All Pisces people, no matter what degree of Pisces they're born in, are progressing to Aries. This is true of the ascendant as it is of the sun, as it is of the moon, as it is of whatever bodies you got in it or that pass through it. All right? So Pisces particularly is the sign of fear. It is the sign of belief. So you're not going to be a Pisces on this plane of event and not be confronted with fears. Now, the natural order of life is that you're scared when you have no knowledge. So as a child, we are scared, we are gullible, and this impacts the destiny of Pisces particularly because they don't lose that childhood sense of fear when they're dealing with the unknown. They are the first ones, even as adults, to say, I don't know, I got a gut feeling about that, y'all. Where everybody else is like, fuck that gut feeling. We're supposed to get this. We're going to make this. Pisces is the one who typically says, or the 12th house sun, which is any sign of the zodiac in the 12th house, okay, is going to say, maybe not. Nope, not me. I'll see y'all. But you was just all committed. You was on board. Yeah. I done fish 180'd on y'all. Okay, you know how fish can turn in the water? No do notice. This is Aquarius in the 12th house nature of Pisces. You understand? So she's at the point now where 2.5 years ago, all she thought she knew, and everybody who she thought was her fucking friend that wasn't, is what impacted her the most. Like, oh, really? So now that really let her know that she couldn't rely on people. And her whole structure of existence was based on the idea that I got a whole crew, I got a whole team, and her realizing the fragility of her team is what got her right now saying, oh, fuck, now I need to make some moves. I need to build something so that this feeling don't happen again. All this insecurity I'm being confronted with now don't happen again. And issues regarding the father or the disciplining parent, the grandfather, the male uncles in the family, and those father figures just generally in your surrounding will come to the fore. A lot of people who are in your network, their secrets are going to be exposed. Their little closet is going to be snatched open on them. And you're going to be right there to see it. And some of your little secrets are going to come to the surface too. Be they ones we don't want to be known or those that we desire to be kept on the low are going to come to the front and don't matter. And a lot of your ideals, like since April of this year, you've already experienced a lot of your ideals being smashed. Just on the presence that Saturn just does that. He's killing ideals. He's giving you a reality check. He really ain't killing your dreams as much as it gives indication to he's killing the fact that you ain't pursuing them practically. You have to find a more practical way to pursue your dream. There's no interruption with the pursuit of dreams as much as it is with the way you're pursuing them. Like when the cab driver says, all right, you got to get out here. I'm not driving up. There's two more blocks that way. That ain't changed your objective, but you ain't getting there by cab now. unless you call another one. You see? So you have to change your modus operandi, your method of operation. Find new way to do. Oh, shit!
No, you're absolutely right.
Lack of
I'm
sleep,
grateful.
too. Then you're sleeping less because you're doing more of something else. But you need to be drinking more water and getting more rest. That's where your dreams are vivid at. Having to pee in your sleep is the only reason for lucidity.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm an avid water drinker. That's that's not a that's not a thing. I feel like I sleep too much.
Janét killing two birds with one stone here. Slick.
Pretty much. You talking to me.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
You're talking to my Pisces son right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just over here soaking it up because my son progressed to Pisces. So I'm just
You talking to Marie too?
You know, you're gonna get a Pisces out there that says none of that is going on with me, and I'm a Pisces. You know, this is misconception here. I'm talking to Saturn, first of all.
Right.
I'm not even talking to Pisces. He just happens to be a Pisces right now.
Yes.
I'm talking to Saturn in the first house. So those of you who are Pisces that didn't identify with what I said, so what? Who gives a fuck? It ain't got nothing to do with Pisces. I'm talking about Saturn in the first house. I'm just happen to be talking to two Pisces consciously. I know I'm talking to two Pisces who are going through what I'm talking about. So that's why. And that's why a lot of time has been allotted to this segment too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I ain't sleeping. Listen, let me tell you what's going on here. Ain't sleeping is Saturn in
Pisces.
Right. Right? So whether people realize that or not, this is a language and a timing tool. You see?
Yeah.
I don't separate the language from the fact that it's timing. Because we're talking about pertinence of subject, of topic. Okay? The pertinence of topic. How do you know that what you're reading in this person's chart is even fucking relevant to them?
Right.
Fucking whether it resonates or not. Okay. Because I got resonate tricks all day. Everybody without astrology, everybody here knows what this is. Everybody here done felt it before.
That fire so resonates.
Even bugs. Even bugs know what the fuck fire is.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, now I can begin to draw conclusions based on the fact that I know everybody's had an experience with fire. I can conclude that they've been burnt before. Severely or slightly. I just saved myself right there. See? This is all we're doing astrologically, really. Really. But it's a little bit more sophisticated than that. There's a little bit more wisdom. Sophisticated. A little bit more wisdom than that. Because we're not generally speaking like that about fire. We're talking about Mars. And everybody don't have Mars in the same place. So everybody's experience with fire ain't going to be the same. You have to understand, too, like, you know, I've been making light of this for years. That you are every sign in the zodiac, depending on what your venture is. You injure your head acting like a Virgo. I don't care who you are, what your sign is, when you were born, or what time you were born. You injured your head, you bumped your head, you scratched your face, you burnt your scalp, whatever the fuck. This affliction to the head happens, it comes out of the Virgo activity in your life. You see? And I discovered this. Listen, man, you stub your toe when you're acting like or thinking Leo shit. You injure your fingers when you're acting out your Scorpio-ness. And I discovered this in 1999. We all know Marku, don't we?
We do.
Yes, yes, we do.
The lab
code astrologer.
Yes.
Hey, the year I started teaching him astrology was 1999. Okay? So he got 24 years under his belt, y'all, right? But He had scraped his hand. And when he came to me, and this was before I started teaching him astrology, before I even gave his chart any analytical thought, right? And he said, yeah, man, that's what happened to your hand. He's like, I was helping my dad move the refrigerator. So I said, so what did he say that was so resentful? He said this nigga told him I had to stop doing what I was doing. And the way he told me, like, cut that shit out, get the fuck up here and help me with this shit. He resented that. He said, but how did you know I felt resentment? I said, because Gemini is the hand, and it can only be in the 8th place if Scorpio is rising. So the only way you could have injured your hand is if you felt resentment you shouldn't have been feeling, nigga. What did your father tell you to stop doing? He said, I was on my PlayStation. I said, no wonder. So you resented that he told you to get up, but that resentment put Scorpio at the ascendant while you're helping him with the fucking refrigerator. And this motherfucker has Mars in Aquarius. So the injury that comes with moving technology or moving a machine is already in the promise. And he has it in the 4th place in that situation. So he's reading his own chart. At that point, I began to realize that, oh, shit. When people are being honest about what happened, they are exposing exactly where they are. Astrologically, I can reverse engineer this shit. I could do astrology without asking people's birthdays. So I started trying that. If you fail at a thing enough, you learn how to do it right.
Right.
So I started doing that. Tinkering with the chart, learning how. Because I would ask a person, what were you thinking? What was the immediate thought when you got that injury? If you can remember, that's what I want. Because that'll tell me the character you were in astrologically when you got the injury. According to your chart. This is what you call the Cozmophyzix. Way beyond the comprehension of those listening unless they're already students. You know, I'm actually nomenclature.
You ready for the next question? Or Mo, did
I'm so sorry.
The question.
No, he did everything. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, you are. Yeah, thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you, Mo.
See, if you give one person 20 minutes, you got to do that for everybody. Or you're mean.
I hear you. Okay. And Heather is up next. Heather, are you there? Hi, Heather. Hi. And we have for date of birth, June 9th, 1974, 2:10 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
You used to get sore throats when you were a kid?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You are overly sensitive to the tone that people take when they speak to you. Loyalty means everything to you in friendship. Once a person demonstrates the lack of it, you wonder if that's really how they feel about you. In that, you can't even help but go there with your thoughts. You can't stand criticism in any fucking form, regardless of its necessity or its non-necessity. So therefore, you go above and beyond the call of duty to avoid all kinds of shit. You know, when they don't like you, it don't matter whether you give them something to criticize or not. They will create something. So that was one of those social lessons you had to learn. You did, and let me see what else. You think you's a bad motherfucker in that kitchen. That's really where your ego flexes the hardest, okay? And when you're serving people with the food you made, okay? All they got to do to get under your skin is criticize your cooking. Well, you know that ain't the truth, and that shit is delicious to everybody there. And you want to hear that shit. I don't care whether you actually cook professionally or not, okay? The homemaking business is where you would make money. So if you had to invest money, invest it in the homemaking, in any domestic business. And not just homemaking. I'm talking about hospitality. That's the word. The hospitality business. So it's restaurants, hotels, and shit like that. Where your investment should be made. Now, you had a very strong interest in a foreign language or in language period or in literature or all the above, right?
Correct.
And you very hard on the fucking semantics and on the manner of speech and on diplomacy, tact, and all of that. You you have the capacity to speak to your ancestors like the last caller that was here, but yours comes from a different place. Yours strictly deals with your grandmother. She was a seamstress, or she dealt with cloth, or she was in the cleaning industry.
My grandma, yeah.
So for all you niggas out there that want to say I don't get spiritual, pow, boom, there goes your atom bomb right there. Okay. Your natural business is connecting with people and dealing with and building with networks and establishing networks. You should have been a fucking promoter, because everybody you know, you can tell is going to be a party and they'll all come, even if they don't like your ass. And so you easily get people together in crews, and you like operating in groups anyway. Parades, festivities, all these are your favorite childhood experiences. They'd be like, the music sucked, but you were like, did you see the fucking crowd? So you had fun. If there was diversity, you had fucking fun. All right. Yeah. And let me see what else. Your problem is this. Spontaneous love is a fucking myth. How well has that served your ass? And the second problem is you are a sucker for a handsome or a pretty face, however it goes. Okay, the beautiful face is your attention. See, you can get caught up on looks when you were younger, quick as a motherfucker. Enter the relationship impulsively, thinking with the naivety that their intentions were as pure as yours. Duh, that's not how you do that. You're supposed to know your partner. So what? That instantaneous spark wasn't there in the beginning. That don't make successful relationships. And you're gonna be on a never-ending quest for your soulmate. Even when you find your soulmate and give them a hug, you'll be looking over their shoulder, wondering, did I get the right one?
Oh goodness, that was good.
Was there a question?
She just put her birthday and time. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Libra rising, Raw.
You know what I was reading?
I was like, oh, here we go. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you.
And mind you, for practitioners, all I'm doing is reading the sign template. I ain't taking the time to pull up no charts, but I am reading the ascendant sign template.
Yes. And we have Spacebug next. Are you there?
Yo.
Hey.
Peace.
And for date of birth, we got, happy belated birthday, 10/28/84.
Ooh, Scorpio.
And then 13:37 for the time.
Okay.
1:37. Huh?
Yep.
Your partners, you have never been fair in any relationship, even you think you have.
Oh.
You have never advised your partner to the fact that they are in a relationship with you and with you and your inner security. So you didn't tell them that they was in a menage a trois with you and your inner security.
That's fair.
You see, you didn't even know until I just told you that you really love your inner sense of security. Then you love your partner.
No, that's fair. Totally fair.
So, because you will leave one of them motherfuckers immediately over your sense of inner security.
No, I stuck with some bad relationships for a hot minute, or at least one.
Well, suffering and...
But I was definitely not being...
Suffering and pity parties are your specialty. Do you want the real? You want me to show the parade?
No, I want straight up real. Hit me with the truth.
Yeah, because we can't see you. You don't give a fuck as long as we don't get to see you. So you'll take it all as long as they don't see you. Because you love your privacy more than you love both of your feet, more than all the fucking shoes in your closet. And I assume there are a lot of those.
I don't fuck with shoes.
Well, there's something to do with the bedroom and the closet or
blankets. I obsess.
Yeah, all right. Well, there it goes. So there you go. So see, it ain't got to be shoes. I'm right about the Pisces.
You're totally right.
Yeah. Okay. So you're never gonna not be religious, even when you shun religion. You understand that?
100%.
Okay. And you're never going to be in a position where you don't have to confront your fears.
That's fair.
Right. That's your purpose here.
Yeah.
You're here to know what it's like to deal and to live in a state of fear. There's only one way to do that. You have to progress to Aries. See, Janét, you're doing this on purpose, right? You picking
I'm not. I swear I'm not. These are the people that they're here.
But no, really, this happens. See, what people don't know, that don't know astrology has happened. This is the third fucking Pisces that I got in a row, or the third 12th house.
I have a Capricorn rising, but we've talked about that before once.
Yeah, well, if your rising is Cap, then you had issues with your mid to upper back before your heart, like irregular heartbeat.
I haven't. I don't know.
You never felt pain in your mid to upper back?
I've ripped a lung muscle once.
See, now that's a whole nother sign. That's a whole nother indication. I'm talking about Capricorn here, first of all.
Yeah, no,
Okay?
I don't. I never had.
If people are talking about everything else, I'm only talking about what pertains to a Capricorn rising. Okay? This is some kind of discomfort or pain from the mid to upper back because Capricorn has Leo in the 8th place. Also, the heart. So I asked, irregular heartbeat, heart murmur. None of this to your knowledge ever in your life.
No.
So now I need you to try something else that is strictly Capricorn based, right? Navy blue car. You like that?
Yes, that was my first and only blue car.
So she is. So you're not self-concerned enough to know about your cardiac or vertebrae issue, or you're too fucking young. But this is typically going to be your shit.
That's
so
not
now,
good news.
people think you are. Well, you're a natural pessimist who wants to avoid being pessimistic. Imagine that. Okay. All right. Now, so the pessimism is common sense to you. Okay. If you chase your dream, because Sagittarius in the 12th means you got to chase yours. Okay. It ain't coming to your front porch. It ain't gonna be at a theater near you. All right, you're gonna have to chase the motherfucker. People think that you are slow. They really think you're fucking slow. They don't know all your decisions are fucking lickety split. I'm taking my time because I want to know how to execute. It ain't got nothing to do with. I've already decided where the fuck I'm going with it. All right. So because you're not quick to express until you're done processing how you're going to execute, they think you're fucking slow. And while you come off as this most patient motherfucker in the world, you have anxiety out of this world when you are required to be patient. You just very good at masking the anxiety. All right. You're here to build something. You're here to build something. You've cried over a partner, over relationships, over being taken advantage of. They just don't love me for who I am. Well, no, they're not going to love you for the reasons that you love yourself. Okay. You like your favorite car because you like it for this reason, right? Not because the manufacturer said you're supposed to like it because it has bucket seats. You like the fact that the stick shift operates very easily. See, so people are gonna love you how they want to love your fucking ass.
That's the most valid
want them to love
in the world. Thank
okay?
you for that.
No, because man, your motherfuckers think that you can plan everything, including how you're gonna fall in love. And how
He's talking about me too.
Yes, he is.
So I'm sitting here like,
yeah.
But
Listen, man, please. You need a mama's boy. You tired of having to raise a motherfucker? That's too bad. You're tired of being a support system for your partners in the beginning, because that's where I get taken advantage of. When you just don't know how to be a proper support system. You're not an enabler. You're a support system. You're more of a manager, not the motherfucking fan. You get it? Yeah. You're in a relationship. You're the manager of the relationship, not the fan of it. You can be the fan of it up here all day. In your actions and your pursuit, you are the structure there. You tend to get people that don't have structure. Why me? Why all the time me? Because you're the one that has the structure. And so you're supposed to be a support for those that don't, or a means by which to help them to bring structure. So your validity of the veracity of their motherfucking care for you is based in your stability dealing with that dynamic. You get? Did I just step on our left wing with your ass? Did I just step out on left?
We're good.
All right.
I do have a question though, because I didn't know I could ask a question, but my question would be, when can I afford to take your class?
when you can pay me $2,500 in 3 installments of $833.33.
My pessimistic common sense says I knew that part already.
Well, I get what you're saying. Well, right now, Saturn just ran through your second house and totally wrecked your value system. So you have a totally different value system because of your budget. And this was not a plannable event, right? This was sudden, unexpected. Like, it's something similar to all the pipes needed to be tore out in my shit, and I wasn't expecting that. So there goes my budget for your fucking ass. So you're recovering now from something that happened something unexpected that happened in the last 2.5 years that devastated your fucking budget. Okay, probably the COVID fallout, but at any rate, so now you're readjusting. So now all your priorities have been reset, and all of this bullshit in life ain't what you thought it was going to be 2.5 years ago. So you're like, this is a fucking mess. What do I do? And you are very fucking confused as to where do I start. Well, you start by putting your life in order and stabilizing your emotions under stress, under lack of sleep. You ain't been getting no fucking sleep for all the anxiety that you've been storing, all the cortisol you've been collecting. Like, I can go on and on and on till the light breaks at dawn. You dig? No matter how they respond. You know?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Yes.
Peace.
Okay. We have, am I saying your name right? Linnea?
See, I hate to scream on people too, man.
Oh, I added too many people. What'd I do? Oh, there we go. Is it Linnea? Linnea? I hate getting people's names wrong because mine's a doozy.
Yeah.
Are you there, sweetheart?
She's muted, or they're muted. Let's see. Okay. All right.
There we go.
Unmuted now.
Hi. Can you hear us?
You there? No.
Where'd she go? For anybody for whatever reason didn't jump up here, for booking, you're gonna have to call Ra if you don't come up in the queue. I posted the link for everybody to join, so if you can't do it, you're gonna have to give him a call.
His number is the show here, right?
Yeah. Yes.
One monkey don't stop no show. You dig? Don't take it personal, but we gotta keep things rolling. Click to the next one in the queue.
Got you. There's no one else in the queue. That's what I'm saying. But there's more readings.
Good, right. Because I was just contemplating, like, how long must this go on? Like, you know,
because someone just true, and someone did just ask already. Somebody did just ask how that they could join. I mean, I don't know if you're open to someone else just jumping in and joining here. That's fine. It's up to you.
The link. I mean, I'm willing to keep going until 1 o'clock.
You are a kind person.
Be out of here at 1 o'clock. How about that? Because my children are getting restless and they need to be put in bed. And one of them knows that we're doing the show, so she's totally taking advantage of that.
If anyone has seen,
she's been in here twice. Y'all just don't see it because you know she's been in here twice. I mean, I want to make the lighting good, but it was too bright for a second. Right.
Here we go. All right. I'm sorry. I pasted the wrong thing. If you want to come up, click the link. Well, I said he was willing to keep going. If not,
at 1 o'clock, I'm out of here regardless of whom or what, man.
Exactly.
Okay, but I see what it's going. But what it always turns into is everybody wants their chart read. Nobody's really interested in anything else. Astrology is valid as long as you can tell me about my motherfucking self.
That is true.
Well, I will also say that even still, if they're getting readings on platforms like this by astrologers like you, then
ain't no astrologers like me. Cut it out.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, you know what I mean. You can't say exactly like you, but within the guidelines that we're trying to establish that this is an actual craft that people actually practice. It's not something we pull out of our asses, that those that are deserving of giving people readings as well as receiving ones, this is a mutual exchange, that crowd will start to get rid of the charlatans all on their own. Because, for example,
They
Saturn
got
in
to prove me
Pisces,
wrong now.
there was a Saturn in Pisces indication where I don't know if anyone's seen this, but like the beauty industry or the glamour industry, right? Remember the whole big thing about hairstylists kind of being a little wild about the way they were charging prices and
like to wash your hair,
right? Or come with it already or I'm gonna need a $500 deposit, you won't get it back, you have to wait an hour. Their customer service was bad, right? Well, we're seeing with Saturn and Pisces a loss of business. So there's been this thing on TikTok about hairstylists saying they've had to go back to work because they can't retain their clientele and they cannot they're because of bad business, right?
Got you.
But it's because the customers are like, we're no longer going to support these places that are not integral. So the same thing can happen for astrologers as well, and that seeing how this works or how it should be in some kind of sense, because we have different methods and forms, that they'll move away from the charlatans organically.
Okay. Oh, Keisha, you came up here. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we got a couple of people. Yeah. So let me keep my mouth shut.
Linnea came out and came back in, so hopefully now we'll be able to hear her. And then we have Keisha. Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect.
Oh yes, thank you. I was having issues with my phone. I don't know what happened.
I know she was like, hell no.
Right. I'm like, I've been following this man for years. I really need to just hear something so I can understand, because I have no clue about astrology.
She is 3/12/88.
12:55 p.m.
You know, I have Saturn as the highest place in my birth chart. Linnea, I got you. Okay. Saturn is the highest place in my birth chart. So my entire career, I have noticed something very serious, and this is why I subscribe to the idea that Saturn is also the planet of astrologers. Because whenever anybody comes to me, most of the people that come to me are the ones whose sign Saturn is visiting.
Yes.
Do you get that? Saturn is in Pisces, so since April, Saturn has been in Pisces, and I've been getting more Pisces than anything else. Before that, when Saturn was in Aquarius, I was getting more Aquariuses. Okay? So wherever is Saturn is, I just wanted to bring that to light, because here we go again.
Yes.
Well, this is another Pisces.
I swear I ain't do it. I didn't do it.
It's like, no, you did do it, because this is your podcast.
That is true.
She's
All
a
right,
Pisces.
right. And I'm a Pisces.
And she is the reason why all these Pisces are here. This is why all y'all feel Janét. And you feel my wins, because she's the Scorpio rising Capricorn, so Pisces is her fifth and her third. You see, this is the reason why
I love to
here.
talk to y'all.
A lot of y'all first timers here get sinus allergies and headaches.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm gonna say that. A lot of you first timers here, the ones that get sinus allergies that have ever experienced that ever, whether you do it anymore or not, okay? You would prefer a neutral colored car. You are particular as fuck about everything, but especially when it's time to spend your fucking money. Okay? Because you work hard for your shit, all right? Now, the ideal relationship to the people I'm talking to are the matches for most of the people that follow you, obviously. Or at least those who got balls enough to drop their birth chart.
Yeah.
And get ready. Now, she's born on March the 12th. At what time?
12:55 p.m.
So you injured your knees, you had dental issues before?
You said dental?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And you have scars or marks on your knees?
Yes, on my left one.
Okay. So you are very private about your money. Your first favorite thing was yellow. But you love electric blue, don't you? Electric
That's
blue.
one of my colors.
This blue, you goddamn right. This blue right here. This is your electric. Yeah. All right. And it's one of your colors. Your favorite car was that color, or your fantasy car is that color. And you give all your money to your mama if it would keep her here longer, wouldn't you? All of it. All the money you have in stash that can't nobody ask you about. We can't ask you how much money you got. You take that shit personally, even if you don't voice it. Like, what the fuck you need to know how much money I got for? Okay, so that's your jerk response. You jerk response. What the fuck you need to know how much money I got for? So you would much rather they tell you how much they need, not investigate your pie. You can't stand when somebody's counting your money. You feel like you ain't got no friends in the time of crisis, and if you do, it's only like one person. Okay, and especially in a time of crisis, because you got all these fucking friends who you know by familiarity, but they're not really your friends because you can't call them in a time of crisis, and that's how you feel about every last fucking one of them. Really, they don't know this because your facade is ever so elegant, ever so fucking friendly. Okay, and the reason for that is you are eloquent and elegant and fucking friendly. Okay, and your weakness is food. You love eating in bed, or you love eating at night. And you can't stand to be looked at, dead at while you're eating. You're like, am I chewing funny? Okay, now your friendships are based on how willingly, how self-sacrificial a person is, as if they are as equally as self-sacrificial as you. That's where you gauge whether they're your true friend or not. So for all the people who think they're your friend, they better know that that's what you're judging them by right there. And your biggest thing in life is you extend yourself out to help a motherfucker, and they don't practice the same consideration when you need help. Well, you got to be totally foolish to believe that everybody's going to be as considerate as you. Okay? Because your karma, your life lessons deal with being a considerate motherfucker. So naturally, but you expect that to be so for everyone. It's not so. Okay? Most of your friends are selfish as fuck, nigga. So get used to it. Okay? Your mom was a workaholic. You get your workaholicism from your mama, your sense of clean and nasty from your mama. And you will not even open the front door if your house is a mess. Fuck out of here. You're not even home. You're not even home. Okay, all that bullshit, and when you do have company, that shit is as clean as a fucking Hilton. Yeah, there's not a dish in the sink. There's not a roach on the counter. All that shit is taken care of before you have company. Now we ain't gonna say what happens behind closed doors. All right, now fuck out of here, because you don't give a fuck until you having company. Okay, you know. Everything ain't got to be in order till you having company. Now, let me see something else too. Secretly buy land. And hold on, everybody don't need to know. Be a private investor. Okay? All right. Sell and buy behind the scenes. This is where you have successful endeavor. You wish you had the cloak of invisibility. Now I ain't gonna say you wouldn't walk in First Manhattan and take it all, but that ain't the reason. That ain't the reason why you want the cloak of invisibility. The reason why you want it is because you can't keep motherfuckers out your business. It's simply to help people mind their fucking business. Yeah. All right, that's my sample. Keep on going with it. You need to write a book, change the names to protect the guilty. Write a book, tell it all, you know, what you went through and what you thought about it. And believe me, a whole lot of people are going to give a fuck if you write it. Wow. A whole lot of people will give a fuck if you write it. Okay, nobody want to hear that shit. Okay?
Right.
Write a book. I'll buy it. Trust me. But if you write the book, people are going to want to hear it. Or the script. Or the collection of photographs. See, I don't know if it's a compilation of words or images. With your procrastinating, unfinished book having ass all over millions of scraps of piece of paper with writing on it so she don't forget. She don't forget. And you better not throw any of that shit in the trash when you clean it up either. Because it's there so she can remember some shit that she forgot when she even wrote it about.
I love it.
Right.
I feel like I just got a whooping.
Because your parents, I didn't whoop you, I beat the fuck out your paradigm. See, I said shit I ain't supposed to know. Like, here goes a better one. Here goes a better one. The reason why you love America. All that bullshit, this is a racist country. I would love to get the fuck out. You love to go on vacation. Love. Okay? And that's why you love America, because you are free to go wherever the fuck you want when you get good and ready. And then all we got to do to make it uncomfortable here in this land for you is to remove your fucking mobility. Secondly, you had an attraction to a foreigner, or you engaged in a long distance relationship. How'd that turn out? Between 2015 and 2018 specifically, you lost a car or refurbished a car, or you spent more money than you should have traveling?
Yes.
You think you decided to do all that shit? I just got that from your birth configuration. All right, man. That demonstration
never ceases to amaze me.
Not at all.
Never.
Is this because, man, you everybody thinks they're so fucking unique. That is the purpose.
Yeah.
That is the purpose. Is to feel some sense of uniqueness.
Yeah.
Because when you're dead, in your spirit, you're just one with the Most High. There's no separateness. So here we come here to experience separation from the source with the illusion that we are the cause of our dynamic. Whenever I'm reading you, listen, everybody, this is what I want you to walk away from this show with. I don't know what Janét's intent was. This is what I want you to go home with, okay? Your whole life was written while you were sitting in your motherfucking diaper shitting.
I agree.
Yep.
Okay? Your whole life was written, the first 60 years of your life was written in the first 2 months.
Yes.
So decisions you decide to make last week, I will show you a chart that was generated by the universe while you were sucking your thumb, while you had no muscular control. What you decided to do last week was written. I demonstrate that when I do full readings. I can only demonstrate to you by full process. But in other words, if you're 50 years old, I'm going to pull a chart for when you were 50 days old or 50 months old. And I'm going to read that chart, and that's going to tell me what you just decided to do within the last few days and what you're going to decide and be faced with deciding over the next 30 days. This is what I do. That's my service. That's the service I provide. Okay? You have to understand that this pattern I revealed to you has been ongoing since the day you were born and will continue to unfold in the days that ensue that involve the rest of your life. Okay? It is a timing mechanism. The chart is a clock for you. If thou choosest to knowest thy path. Or you just gonna walk that motherfucker blindly. It's that simple.
Did we address the question?
I have that.
Okay,
effect,
perfect.
Okay.
I'm good.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming up.
Yes,
Thank you all. I appreciate you all. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
And next up, we have Keisha. Hello, lady.
Hey. How y'all doing?
You back? I
Ain't
saw
nothing. How you
you're
doing?
back over here with us, huh?
Yes, I'm so happy. One of your students did a chart and was like, "You need to get out of Ghana," so I'm here.
Well, welcome back to the States.
Oh,
nice to have you.
Students told you to relocate.
Uma and Cosmic V.
Oh yeah. Well, but both of them told you that, and then there's a high likeliness that that's real. See,
It
my
was.
students ain't gonna be
It
unanimously
was.
wrong. My students ain't ever
Right.
gonna be unanimously wrong. If they agree on some shit, then usually that's the proper advice that come with the motion. So it feels
Absolutely.
better. Are you going back to Ghana?
Heck no.
Yeah. So there you go. What was
No,
over Ghana?
that's not
What planetary line was over Ghana?
I don't know. I don't know what planetary. Like, let me see. I think it was. She said it was Capricorn rising there, and it just when they did the relocation chart, and then they progressed.
Well,
it
we
to
know
the
that
time
Capricorn. We know
Ghana.
where. And what year was you born in?
She was born in 77.
77.
So what she have in Capricorn? The nose was gone by then. 77. There's nothing in Capricorn in 77.
It was, let's say, June.
Oh, what she got? Cancer. She got Jupiter in Cancer.
Jupiter in Gemini.
Okay, it's in Gemini.
Wait, didn't you move to your 12th house? That was your 12th house ascendant when you were
So
in
she,
Ghana?
so she's an Aquarius rising. I need to know what the rising sign is. Capricorn. So
well, in Ghana, I'm Capricorn rising. Here, I'm Libra rising. I was born in Savannah, Georgia.
Somebody made a mistake, y'all.
She's June 5th, 77.
Listen, somebody made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who made the mistake.
Who made? No, but what was the mistake?
That your ascendant can change by 90 degrees.
90 degrees. That's a lot. No.
60 to 90 degrees by
Okay.
location.
Okay.
Never gonna happen, love. Never gonna happen. Not that drastic.
Okay.
See, this is why you know. Oh, here it goes. I got a chance to show out with people that truly appreciate poetry. Okay, you ready, Janét?
Yes, I'm listening.
I am a show enough modern day, true and through, like magician, and I'm gonna say I'm quite proficient because I practice solving how to calculate a righteous living. I track the stars and their cycles within a macrocosm of microrhythm. So I got twice the wisdom, insight, and vision than any of your trife religions. See, I can show and prove in any cipher spitting how your whole freaking life was written by the slowly moving transits of the planets and the lights in heaven while you were so enthused with sitting in your motherfucking diaper shit. And you know it's true. No matter who you ask to understand it, you're going to have to do your math to be a master of this craft. And it'll be fucking obvious if you did. See, and I'll be laughing at your ass. I got no problem with you getting cash for spitting trash, but you probably omitting. Karma soon pass, you boom bash and smooth crash into your ass. See? So this is an instance where you have to take careful measure of what's going on. See, people have changed their social dynamic drastically because of all that society has gone through in the last 5 years. Not even looking at the fact that the drastic turbulence that hit us socially in society actually had some impact on their own personal social activity, well-being, and all that. And a lot of people foundation been shook as a result of that. Okay? If you're a Capricorn rising, Saturn just went through your second house, young lady. Keisha. And therefore has rattled, given indication to a destabilizing of your normal or the values that you had insulated yourself into over the last 7 to 14 years. So now you are required to revamp your values and the way you go about buying things. And that what also comes along with that is your social interaction. Your ability to rely on your social circles to get money is totally rattled. Or you were faced with the fact that this is the route you need to go. And if you follow that route and you restructure your social network and your values in the midst of those activities, then you overcame your turbulence. But that's highly unlikely. You're still patching that shit up right now.
It's true. I'm patching a lot of stuff up. I'm restarting my life. Yeah, I'm restarting my whole life.
That's right. And so it's about now, it's mind frame now. Things you thought you knew how they operate don't operate like that no more. Or the situations you're now confronted with don't operate in your aptitude. You got to expand your perspective. You have to open the door to doing things that you normally wouldn't do, taking jobs you wouldn't normally take, dealing with people you wouldn't normally deal with, as well as not dealing with people that you would normally deal with. See, all of this is coming hand in hand, and yeah, it devastated your whole economic frame.
Right.
You have to go about getting money with whole new ways now. Yeah, your idea, your ingenuity is key if you can't keep a job now. You have to be ingenuitive as a motherfucker right now, since April even. And being confused as to where you could go, because before I could rely on this, but I ain't fucking with that no more. Before I could rely on them, but I done distanced myself from them because I don't want to deal with all the other bullshit. So you're trying to figure out a new way to do old shit. You better find a new way to do old shit, because the old way ain't working no more. The old way of ain't working no more. Better look at that shit from another angle from now on. And that's what your reality is saying. And you don't have to like what I'm saying, but you better pay attention. Or I'll be one of them niggas, because I am one of those niggas that take great pride in saying I told you so. I'm one of them niggas. I love to say I told you so. My motherfucking career depends on my ability.
I can't escape people like you. I can't escape people like you. I mean, that's, you know.
No, you don't. He is right, though.
Yeah, I don't have a dissatisfied customer.
What you say?
I don't have.
Oh, I know. No, I mean, yeah.
I don't even know what that's like, y'all.
No, you don't. No.
So if
you told me something back in May that was just like right on the money.
So if you were a Capricorn in Ghana, then how far is Ghana down from here? Then you're a Sagittarius up here? We move.
No, just pull up her chart. She the last person, right?
There's I think Trudy said she's gonna call you. She asked. She was the last one that paid to come in. So she's gonna call you tomorrow between 1 and 7. So
she could come up. She could come up here.
Okay.
Give her what she paid for.
But she's saying
when they want, and they won't want all the time. Want.
True. She just added, but if she can't join at the moment, so I don't know. She may still be able to, but she's not in the queue right now.
Okay, well, anybody can come in between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Right.
So, don't feel like you need to pay to call me for a free 5-minute sample. If you want the full reading, you're going to be paying. You want to get in my course, you want to take my course, I have a fee for that. All right.
No, so what happened? Is they said that they progressed the time from my 3:46 birth time in Savannah, Georgia, to what it would have been in Ghana, which would be 7:46.
Okay, no, I get what they said. No, I get it now.
Okay.
She corrected herself. By progression, you were a Capricorn. In that time frame, you were a Capricorn.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Capricorn was rising in that progression
chart. Right.
Okay.
Yes, that's what she was. Yeah, that's what she was trying to say.
Well, the term progress had to be there. So she was the one that made a mistake, y'all. Her.
Okay.
Not so scary.
Because I'm training my students, first of all,
Oh, I'm just an enthusiast. I'm not this. I'm still in the enthusiast slash dabbler stage.
I'm talking to the whole crowd here, the whole audience. I train my students. They ain't got no business making stupid ass mistakes. So when I said somebody made a mistake, I already knew it's somebody. I don't know which or if it's her. I just know I could play the safe zone because Uma and
Cosmic V.
Cause all of them were hard on it. They were diligent.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I'm glad you gave it clarity because I was about to say I don't know which one of y'all fucked up and embarrassed me. Okay.
No. I mean, like,
saw this woman and her whole ascendant done changed 90 whole
90 degrees.
You dig? Now by progression, that is all actual. So I don't have no, because we are all 12 signs of the zodiac throughout the year.
Yeah.
Right.
People don't know that. Leo rises every year in your shit. And it can stay there for more than 30 days.
Did we get to it, or do we have one more person? I see somebody in the queue, so I didn't.
So yeah, Shanice is in there. I don't think that Trudy made it back in.
Like pulling her chart up, huh? That's what that is.
Oh, what?
Jesus Christ!
Right.
I'm not pulling up any charts today.
Oh God!
All right. So what is the birth date?
6/3/73. I'm sorry, wrong one. 6/5/77.
6/5/77.
It's like 15 degrees to Gemini right there.
And you said the
correct.
time was
3:46.
15:46. Yeah.
3:46. 15:46. So you ever injured your arms? You had a problem with asthma? Huh? You hold resentment like a motherfucker, nigga? Oh, you don't know how to forgive? Forgiveness ain't even in your fucking vocabulary? Huh? You hate sleeping alone.
It's difficult.
You hate sleeping alone. Let me say it again. You hate sleeping alone, so you don't even bring your babies in the bed with you. Fuck out of here. Yeah. Oh,
well,
that's
crazy.
They jump in the bed with me.
Pluto conjunct the ascendant.
So she's a
Libra. No, I was getting ready to. That's what I was getting ready.
Oh,
to say. Pluto is conjunct her ascendant by like a degree in Libra.
Scorpio. Anyway.
Yeah.
In Libra, yeah. So it has her at 1346 in Libra.
So what about your throat, ma? You have tonsillitis, strep throat, laryngitis, earaches in the right ear?
Earaches in the right ear when I was a child, yeah.
Yeah, well then, I would say that supports Libra rising.
Yeah.
Doesn't determine it, but it supports it.
Supports it.
And I had a goiter at one point too.
If that is the
you had
case,
a what?
then,
a goiter, she said.
I had a goiter at one point too.
Okay, in the neck.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So then also since April, you're working at your job or keeping a job has been a motherfucker. You can't adjust your sleep schedule to accommodate your job or your routine either. Fuck
the
your
job.
job.
Was getting back to the U.S. I start a new job on Monday. I go back to my labor and delivery work.
Yeah, okay. But that's not what you wanted to do. The fact that you had to do it is given indication by Saturn's place there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to restructure your sleep schedule to accommodate this job.
I do.
That is Saturn and Pisces in your 6th house. So I believe that you're a Libra rising.
Working the night shift.
Nah, it's going to be there for 3 years. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have this job for 3 years.
No.
But this energy of having to readjust your sleeping schedule to accommodate your routine ain't going away for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because Saturn is going to be there bringing out the instabilities also in your diet. You're changing your diet. You stopped eating seafood or you stopped eating everything except seafood.
I haven't really had any. I had some salmon tonight, but I haven't had any shellfish. Yeah.
Is there a conscious decision regarding shell food or fish of any sort?
State the question again. I'm sorry.
Is there any conscious decision? Has there been any overt decision with regards to how you're going to deal with products from the ocean?
No. No.
Well, we got 3 years of it to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Saturn is going to be there for approximately 3 years.
3 years.
So we got 3 years for all of that to come to the fore. All that I gave mentioned with regard to you being, you changing your daily routine to accommodate your sleep schedule or vice versa. That has been key since April. Well, it started in April of 2003. You're going to see this theme. You're going to have to constantly make a conscious adjustment to deal with that specifically and other things not mentioned here for the next 3 years. So prepare for that. You know, it's like we know when winter comes, it's going to last for 3 months. This is not necessarily 3 years of discomfort. It's 3 years of you got to readjust before it becomes a serious discomfort. Before it becomes late, before it doesn't matter anymore. You see?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm glad that you're packing the state. So.
Me too. That's what I was going to say. Congrats on starting your
glad
job,
too.
Lily. Yay.
Thank you, Uncle Rob. Thank you so much.
Did you just stop fucking with a medication, drinking, or smoking?
Say it again. What?
That again and again. What?
He said, "Did you just stop taking a medication, or you said smoking, drinking, or smoking?"
Any of those that you stopped?
I stopped the smoking months ago, and the drinking I've sort of stopped over the past month. Just because I'm researching, I'm changing my diet. What?
He said yes is the answer.
Is the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, yes is the answer. Yeah.
That is Saturn and Pisces in the 6th house, y'all. Okay, that is Saturn. I quit. Okay, a bad habit. 6th house Pisces, an addictive habit. Okay.
Yeah.
So because Saturn is, I'm just testing the plausibility of her Libra rising this.
Right.
Where she thinks she's getting a reading, I'm testing whether she's actually a Libra or not. Okay, so there goes a demonstration as to the veracity of this motherfucking science.
Yeah, for that ass. Yes.
Yeah, always want to tell the truth.
Thank you, Ra. Like, listen.
Thank you so much, everybody.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ra.
Everybody's welcome to call me between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't wait till 6:55 and don't call me at 12:55 because I'm not going to accommodate you. I said after 1, before 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't mean to click on her so fast. I will get the hang of this. Listen.
My bad. We see you still, girl.
But Rod, no, like, you keep proving in what you're doing that there is something to this, that these people who say or try to, cast demons onto astrology or make it a parlor trick or whatever other atrocities we keep seeing online.
They ain't doing nothing, no. We've been dealing with them clowns since the beginning, yo.
I can imagine.
Believe me, I just killed all of their believers that watch this show aren't their believers anymore.
Yeah, like if they actually see this. And that's
yes.
Like when I like what we're doing here while we're showing validity, while we're doing the readings, so people can actually see what this can be like. Because I think like sometimes people with astrology put on a show. We've been over here cracking up. it's a regular language, like we said. It's full of math, but we're talking normally while helping and guiding people through their lives. It's not a big, we didn't come over here wearing white robes with soft music in the background, going, everybody, before we begin, we're just going to join in hands and we're going to get the power of the sun into our third eye chakra. Before we elevate to the 54th dimension, what is your sun sign? Like that.
I can't do that type of shit.
It's more practical than that. Raw's looking at me like that because I have issues, okay, with that. But I'm like, just talk to me normal, make it practical, make it helpful. It doesn't have to be all of that, so
yes it does. Yes it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does have to be all that, because if your astrology sucks, it needs a boost. It needs
it needs all of that. Yeah.
True.
That's true.
We can't forget that part.
That,
No.
Some people, they're like that, and I get that, and they're good. That's fine.
Snow. You guys are the snobs of astrology.
Yo, we're the snobs of astrology. We're gunners. So astrologies are going to have gunners now. We're going to be gunners in astrology.
We had those sword necklaces because we the key,
cut through the fog.
So we can cut through the fog and the bullshit. Yeah. We got matching sword necklaces.
And he calls us this is what happens when you get involved in Cozmophyzix anyway. Because, excuse me, you have little Cosmophysician warriors out there on TikTok tearing it down right now.
Yes!
You see Chris?
Yes.
He gives nobody any air. If you come with that fake astrology, he is like, now this right here, let me show you.
No, because you get tired of the misrepresentation.
Yeah, you do. It gets exhausting.
And listen, most of the time, a lot of people don't realize it's a misrepresentation. Niggas really think that this science is something that they put in the back of the newspaper. All they need to do memorize this little script for every sign, and I'm on and popping, boy. I'm a professional, Jack. Okay? And this is what they do. Yeah. All right? While they're learning. When they finally it comes across their path that, oh shit, there's a motherfucker out there named Raku, or niggas like him, right? That they're actually doing I didn't know about that part of astrology. Oh, damn. Well, it's going to take me years to catch up with you guys. Demon, sorcery, magic.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is what that is. Okay? I don't even believe in demons. And you ain't going to find an astrologer more into astrology than me on this whole planet. Bring him here. Send him to me when you find him.
We'll have that show ready. Whoever.
Listen, who want it? We can go. And Ra has an open invitation to come on here because he just gives. I'm sorry. Like, I be forgetting I'm supposed to be running. I'm listening like,
well,
I got to get my act together.
That's what I meant when I said, break, 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 break. You know, I have this effect. I go on somebody's show and they forget that they had a list of questions. They just totally forget that and I be like, we didn't even explore the questions. They'd be like, that's because you a tangent jumping motherfucker. You all over the place, right? And but yeah, I can't.
We love it.
Yeah,
I'm a tangent jumper too.
I'll just jump in. I'm used to
Marie, no, thank you for that. No, I appreciate it. But the subject matter was so fitting considering all the shit I saw all week that Marie had mentioned as per like people's bullshit.
You know what I really wanted to get into?
What was that?
We got to save it for another show.
Sure. But let us know what it is.
My study of the ages.
Ooh.
That's your favorite.
Because people really aren't prepared for what's happening. And if you look at it in hindsight, we're right where the fuck we're supposed to be. Like, artificial intelligence started when we were in the Leo Dwadashama, sub Dwadashama of the you see? And that right there, see, now we're in the Virgo of it. You see? and you see how AI is being implemented and how it's going to affect the workforce. No one is really looking at, you don't see how fast computers replace TVs. So much so that your TV is plugged into the internet, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Your internet ain't plugged into the TV. Okay? You get one of them big old flat screen TVs as big as this board right here, right? That motherfucker has full internet capacity on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
That was only 20 years, y'all.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was only 20 years. If those from my generation can remember, there was families that didn't have TVs to the point where there's no household without a TV. Where did all that shit come from to make it out of, you know? But at any rate, when you don't think about the dynamic of that sweeping change and how quickly it is, because 20 years is longer than you can hold your breath for.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but you don't see how fast DC, like I grew up in DC, in 20 years, don't even look like the same place. They got brand new buildings, storefronts, and all kinds of shit going on, right? So my point is that nobody is looking at that change. Right. But AI is going to put 60% of the workforce out of work in the period of the next 20 years.
Wow.
Motherfuckers ain't really grasping that reality, dude. Imagine 6th Street in LA.
It would be a good show.
20 square blocks, yo.
Damn.
Imagine every major city in America looking like Soylent Green. They already got a product out called Soylent.
I saw it.
I was drinking it. It's delicious.
Oh, Marie, you be drinking Soylent?
I hope it was lentils, like it said it was.
Okay, I seen that movie.
I'm drinking people. Oh, I just ruined it for everybody.
Listen, man. Listen, they legalizing cannibalism, selling human parts. They want to get into transhumanism. Ain't nobody looking at none of that. Listen,
No,
you're
they're
not
not.
looking at this. Putin said, fuck the West. I'm going to teach Africans how to defend themselves against y'all.
Show, Raw.
Yeah.
Because we got somebody in the queue.
Oh.
Almost won.
Oh, my God. Okay. I'm sorry. All right.
No, I just noticed. So that's why
I just noticed too.
But I swear to God, that's going to lead into when you want to do the next show, bro.
Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
You ain't Libra, you rising, you ain't pulling no commitment out of me without any prior format. So
You're okay. Understandable.
Yeah,
okay.
but you when you ready to have me is the question. And do I get due notice? As long as I get due notice, I can appear in due form.
Of course.
Yeah. Because the
okay.
is a big one, but I
due notice is due form, y'all.
We got it.
Though I am the last minute nigga, okay? When everybody wants to go, when everybody has a show and nobody showed up and they don't have a guest, they can always call me and I'll be ready at the drop of a dime.
Yes, you are.
It has happened.
All the knowledge already there. So
I can appreciate that, but notice sounds more respectful. Yeah.
I want due notice because I want to show up comfortable. I can comfortably freestyle. I can comfortably freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but I want due notice so I don't have to freestyle.
Are we? Do we still have the? Okay, is this the last one?
I was trying to see if she's there. Did she? I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank goodness.
Oh, yay, I made it.
Because you kept showing up twice. I couldn't tell which one, like, if you were in or not.
I'm here.
Okay.
So I don't know how to type, but my birthday is 1488 and it's 8:27 a.m. Chicago.
So you love your privacy and you hate rules, huh? Rules and regulation. Your father was absent or emotionally entirely unavailable if he was present, right?
No, I don't know where he is.
Well, that's what I just asked you. He's unavailable or entirely emotionally unavailable, right?
Absolutely.
Not
Yeah.
present, right. All right. So don't blame him. He might have been a bum. He might not have been. He might not have known about you. Regardless of whom or what, you you have Capricorn on the 12th cusp. So the absence or the irresponsibility of the father was unavoidable. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And your sense of independence, Aquarius at the ascendant, is entirely what you're here to work on. So you would not have been so self-sufficient had he been so present. You'd have been more molded with your unmoldable ass. Okay, you know what I mean by that. Can't nobody mold you. You ain't becoming shit. You ain't even open to suggestion 9 times out of 10. You hard-headed as fuck until they can prove to you that you're wrong.
Oh.
And that takes a lot, because when you jump to a conclusion, you're usually right. Okay, so this is why even you're friendly as fuck and open to any kind of conversation that leads to an intelligent conclusion. However, you look in the mirror when you're doing your hair and nobody's watching, and you are relishing in how stupid they are, and how blessed you are to not be as stupid as them. And this is the truth, man. You intellectually smug as a motherfucker. You know what you know. Right? And you can't stand a motherfucker who thinks they know and don't know. They need to shut the fuck up. But let's say you had a long distance relationship, or you engaged in a long distance relationship right now, or he's a foreigner. In other words, he's not from where you're from, right?
Interesting. I actually just
yes or no, girl?
Yes, I got it. Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm doing the reading here.
Okay.
God damn. I'll let you tell it. I'll decline. I can be done. You can go ahead. No, you love books. If he bought you a book if the first thing he ever bought you was a book or took you to a bookstore, or a library, you would be absolutely fucking flattered to death. Okay, that's better than going to see your favorite star, though. Going to see your favorite star is next on the list. Yeah. If his ideal date was a museum or a library, that's interesting to you, for real. Okay? It's because you want to be able to talk to this motherfucker. Period. Any way you want, about anything you want, and regardless of whom or what, you want him to feel just as free. And see, the relationship ain't love without that, as far as you're concerned. Mm-hmm. Good luck finding that. Okay, somebody's just gonna tell you what they think every time just because you want to fucking know. Good luck. But you want to work from home? Bad. Yeah, bad. And loyalty means everything to you in a relationship. You'll tolerate hell with a nigga for the sake of the children, or won't you?
You said for the sake of the children?
Yeah.
Do
you have children?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, that's why you don't understand what that means. So let's skip over that part. I recant. Fuck the kid comment. You don't even have it.
Kids.
Yeah, fuck the kid comment, I said.
Yeah, I know.
Because she doesn't have them yet. Right. So I don't want to open no doors. I want her to get everything she deserves.
You are.
Yeah, you can tell. Oh, oops, I done overstepped her age. Now I'm talking about kids. She ain't got none. Let me shut up. Well, I can just tell you this here. By the time the second pregnancy comes, see, because just because there ain't no kids don't mean there weren't no kids. I don't know her life, but I know that. But when the second pregnancy occurs, loyalty would be the issue in the relationship. Whether that child is born or not. Yeah, how you like them apples?
Not at all.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have a question, Shanice, like specific?
Yeah, I'm just really confused about like what the heck I'm supposed to be doing in life. Like, am I supposed to just be and be present and live, or like I don't know.
Well, you can't help but do that. You're gonna do that no matter what else you do. So it entails something else. It doesn't just entail that. So let's get a So let's get as specific as she made it. What am I supposed to do with my life? She said.
Yeah, I don't
Now, what
feel
year was she born?
88.
In 1988, the North Node was where, y'all? Aquarius or Pisces? I mean, Aquarius, Capricorn, or Sag? 88.
Pisces and Virgo.
It was in North Node in Pisces?
Yes.
North Node in Pisces.
Well, that's why she feel like that. You feel like a leaf floating on the fucking ocean. Floating on the ocean, just being carried every fucking where, whether you want to go or not. And you like, what's the purpose of all this shit if I don't get to see it? Because you got the North Node in Pisces. And what you want is precision, needle point accuracy to the most. You want the whole thing blown up for you in a fucking video.
Yeah.
Too bad. You have to use your inner vision to visualize, create a vision board, hire you a designer, describe to him what you need to see. Because it ain't gonna be put out there for you to see without using your own eyeballs anyway. Now you're gonna have to take what you have and find the best part of it. You're developing your optimism, first of all. You're skeptical of every fucking thing. That's your first form of result. I don't believe that bullshit because you don't have no knowledge of it. You ain't supposed to believe it, but that don't mean it's true. Right? You're really here learning how to develop faith in self and others. So your trust tendency has been severely tampered with. Motherfuckers have done the unforgivable to your ass and they done raped your trust. Poor little trust. Is you don't nobody want that raggedy shit right now. You don't even want to give it. You see how that? Well, the object is to not be not trusting. The object is to learn how to trust. You gotta learn how to properly to trust. That's what all that shit is for, because you weren't trusting properly. You were trusting on the wrong premise. This is my boyfriend. Boyfriends ain't supposed to cheat. So naturally, I'm gonna believe the nigga ain't cheating. You learn that's what boyfriends do. That's why it's cheating. And you readjust. You find out these motherfuckers are cheater or not first now. You decide whether you discover things to believe now. This is how you trust. You don't in the beginning. You don't without substance. Trust without substance is stupid. It's just like faith without works. So that is what the North Node in Pisces is learning here. And when you find someone you can trust, you are just all ready to dive in. Let's go swim in that shit because you can't find because it's so rare to you. But you have to learn how to trust yourself, not punish yourself when you mistrusted because you were naive, nigga. What you supposed to be the all-knowing when you got here? You gonna beat yourself up for not knowing some shit? Out of here. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. So you're restructuring your ability to trust, but you really have to define your vision. It's called definition of the vision. You dig? You don't know what you want because you ain't sat out and planned, even gave any thought to how you're gonna acquire what the fuck you want.
I really
So vision
I tried,
boards would work for her then.
I have a vision board, but I've tried almost everything, and it's
Look
like
at Sabian in the background.
Always, that's why the clicking been going, and now everyone's noticing, and then she's gonna dance. Okay, Saya.
She been back there dancing.
I'm not looking at me. I'm looking at y'all. So,
put her back up there. Let her have her fun. She ain't making no noise.
All right, fine. Oh well, she's gone now. Okay, so
no, she's back. She back.
You tried vision boards and they didn't work.
Shy there too in his drawers. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shy.
They can't hear you.
Man, you can't do everything you see everybody doing. You're not even dressed properly, man. You don't have a shirt on. You don't have pants on. And you're all on the camera. Okay?
So yeah, I've
I was
tried
I'm
to
right.
a
put
father
on.
24 hours a day. I just do this part time. So that's that. All right. Unapologetically dad.
Okay, so going back to you said that you've tried vision boards and things that matter. What is not working in that process of your visualization and putting things into plans?
I don't have the discipline to stick to anything.
Yes,
I,
you do. If we offered you $1 million to do it, your ass would be disciplined as a motherfucker starting tomorrow morning. Fucking ain't come on here and tell that lie. You got discipline. It just ain't worth it to you right now. It has
correct.
to be worth it to you. And
Yes.
right now, your values are going through a hell of a shock. Uranus and Taurus has shock crushed a lot of people's values, and we are forced to reevaluate how we're going to spend our money, how we're going to eat, how we're going to go about providing for ourselves. I don't give a fuck if you're rich or poor. The same decisions are being made across the board. The economics is about to sweepingly change. What I was trying to say too is that you have to take into consideration where you're going to be in the next 10 years. If your job is replaceable, your wages are going to drop.
Yep.
It don't even matter whether you lose your job or not. Your wages are going to drop because half of the field is being eaten up by AI. So you see what I'm saying? We don't need you as much as we did then. So, and you don't think for 1 minute that they got a problem cutting your pay or laying your ass off. You don't remember what happened to Ford. See, people don't want to visit this aspect in the dynamic of reality until it is upon their ass. And then it's, I protest, I don't consent. Nigga, you had all this time to not consent. You did, you and wait until we enact the shit and then not consent. And it's too late. By 2170, we'll all be dead, but our grandkids, our great grandkids will be here, y'all. So we need to really get into that topic because it's way more complex than what I just suggested here.
Okay.
Right. Well, I know
Yeah.
We
that
look
we
forward to
hit
that
at
one.
111. Janice,
Yes.
thank you. Hey, you can call him between 1 and 7
Yep.
any day of the week and talk to him. And like I said, now it's 112. So
Yes.
we're going to go ahead and head out for this.
Yes, we are. Thank you for coming up,
Thank
Shamiz.
you guys so much.
You're
You are very
welcome.
welcome.
And Rod, thank you for joining us.
Yes, as always.
I'm always in awe, and I need to get my wits about me a little bit better to stay in line with the questions. But no, I appreciate this. Thank you. A lot of valid points made. We look forward to what's to come.
Doing this some more. Yeah. And definitely I'm down for the watching you battle somebody too on here. So
Yeah.
come up here and try to battle Ahku.
Ain't nobody gonna do that. Ain't nobody gonna even try that shit. It'll all be in fun if they do, and they'll make sure to give that disclaimer to look. I don't mean to be offensive or nothing. This is all just a learning experience for me. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, quite honestly, the only way that I would see that someone would try to like throw your game off is if they were just non-integral, weren't coming in good faith, and were just a complete liar.
Yeah.
That's why I said I was.
Well, man, it's not necessarily that. You get people that don't expect the truth to be as truthful as it is.
Yeah.
You think some people?
So
Okay.
like, for example, a woman jump out there, let's say she cheating on her boyfriend, and her boyfriend don't know. And I'd be like, damn, Saturn all on your Venus right now. Is that your boyfriend you with? And you like, you dig? Now they're like, now they just in straight denial. Everything I got to say. Because if I let people know he valid, then, you know, like, for example, there have been people that were molested. I don't really, I see that shit in the chart, I avoid it. Number one, don't nobody, unless they intend on talking about it, don't nobody want to admit it.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? But they do, eventually they do, because they be like, yo, man, even the men, they've been, even the men, y'all, come back and be like, yo, dog, you said that shit so slick. Like, it took me a while to figure out that you knew exactly what the fuck you were talking about. I see it because people don't like talking about that. And then you get the people that that's all they want to talk about. See, I'm not the psychiatrist.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I'm an astrologer. We can see that it's there. We can see the day that it happened. We can tell you celestially why it was supposed to happen. All that. You
and
see?
we would recommend you to a licensed professional.
Thank you.
Goddamn right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because I'm not gonna deal with you regularly. I'm not gonna help you through your pain. Only regularly. I'm here. I'm the timer. I'm the alarm clocker. I'm the chronologer. I'm not the doctor.
Right.
So I can tell you when you're gonna get sick. You dig? When you're gonna have to guard yourself against getting sick. I don't have the cure for your fucking ailment. The ailment. Once you catch it, I don't have the cure. Okay.
I'm so glad he said that too, because I don't think people understand that.
People don't understand what remedy is. Remedy is the other side of the fly's wing. Oh, a fly comes down to heaven with disease on the left wing, and the cure is on the right wing. Okay, so that is the philosophy of astrology. If Saturn, the destabilizer, is giving indications of challenges to your stability, then that is a call to stabilize your finances.
Right.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Saturn is the stabilizer. You're supposed to stabilize side of Saturn. The remedy is in the planet itself.
Right.
So people are looking for this cure. People like for example, I told one of my closest comrades that I grew up with, I was telling him, don't buy this house now. In 2005, don't buy this fucking house. No, man, I'm making $100,000 a year. I can do overtime and make double that easily. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I was like, nigga, don't buy the house. He bought the house, and in 2010, it went into foreclosure, just like I said. Mm-hmm. I said, you're in a sweet period for 5 years, and you got a challenge coming here. So I would wait 5 years to buy the house. You already got a house. I would wait till after that 5 years blow over, and I would stack more money and stack more money. Do the other side of Saturn in Taurus. Now, he was born in 1967 in October. That's the only detail I can give. So he was born with Saturn at the end of Aries. And it moved into Taurus to the progress before the first 35 days of his life was complete. It had moved into Taurus. So we know that's in the first 35th, that's in the 35th, 36th year that it moves into Taurus. He going to buy the house right when Saturn enters Taurus. I said, don't do that. Learn how to deal with Saturn in Taurus first. Right? Or that house is going to pose more challenges than it's worth, is what I said. I didn't say he was going to lose the house. Well, when the shit hit the fan, he told me about that shit years later. I'm like, yo, you didn't tell me when you lost the house. He said, motherfucker, I didn't want to tell you you were right.
That's fucked up.
It is. You reserve your right to be like, I told you so.
Yeah, because he knows I told you so.
He ain't want to hear that. Yeah. Most people don't. They don't.
No, well, you know, then don't fuck with me after my prediction comes true.
Yeah.
I know it's coming true anyway. I told you so. I'm telling you that. I remember what I don't feel free pronouncing a prediction for somebody that we haven't done it in retrospect.
All right.
So I'm not just predicting because I'm this all gifted, all magical fucking magi astrologer. No, what it is I take the time of birth you give me and put it to the test. And before I have to feel comfortable that that's your time of birth. Right. And I'm gonna find the time that I'm comfortable with if I'm not comfortable with the one you bring, because it must concur with your own testimony.
Yeah.
So if the time of birth you gave me doesn't concur with your testimony, in other words, the time of birth you give me tells me that you had a Mars yesterday, and you're telling me that Mars was 3 days ago, then I'm not going with that time of birth, chat. Simple as that. You see, the day ain't gonna change, but that time of birth sucks. We can't do no predictions without it. You see, so this is what people don't realize. They think that this is just some. I look at the chart and I'm. And here it comes, y'all. And here it comes. You dig? I'm not pulling this shit out of my ass. That's why on national television I told them I'm an
You're
astrologer. I'm
not a
not a
psychic.
Psychic.
I don't know how accurate or inaccurate my shit is unless I know I'm working with the right time of birth.
Right.
And don't nobody know what time they were born. Shut the fuck up. You don't know.
You only know what you were told.
You only know what you were told. You know, and then if you know the time of birth accurately, the birth that you're talking about is the passage through the womb. You're talking about labia over the whole body. That's
what a way to put it, too.
Huh?
I said, what a way to put it. Labia.
No, because it isn't until they don't care about the vaginal canal because it ain't
That's
until
true.
your feet. It ain't until you're totally out. Do you pass that labia that you're considered born?
That is true.
Like you weren't alive while you was kicking in that motherfucker.
Right.
So I don't want to hear that shit. Birth is what time your blood was oxidized. Both of my children were born in my fucking bedroom with my courageous ass wife who got more heart than a charging rhinoceros. Okay? She had both of them kids in the bedroom. Okay, my daughter was born pink already. You don't understand what the fuck that means? Then shut up. My son was born blue. He was a blue baby. Okay? So if you understand that, both of them are alive right now. You understand that? Oxygen can hit the blood before or after birth. So your time of birth really don't mean shit. It's what time oxidation that we need. We ask for the time of birth so that we can start as close as possible to the time of breath as possible.
Yes. That's such an important distinction.
Yes, it is. And we're going to drag this on.
I know, Rob. We ain't going to ever let you go. I got to let y'all go.
Yes, y'all are.
We're coming back because Janét and I have events and things that we want to put together, especially for the start of the new year. So this will be a little bit more regular than it has been getting Saturn in Aquarius, because Saturn in Aquarius was a tough time, but we learned some things being social. Saturn in Aquarius or being online or planning online. So excited about what to bring during the Saturn in Pisces transit and others as well.
Yes, Rob will be back, y'all. Hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully.
No, I'm.
Yeah. We're sitting over here.
This is my debut on your platform.
Exactly.
Now I can say what I was thinking.
Go ahead.
Took you long enough, man. Give me a
yeah. You right.
It was meant to happen. Who checked the progressions?
Let me feel the chart like the fake astrologer. Oh, I'm sorry. It was. Oh, my bad.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rob.
Yes, and thank everybody for joining. Y'all seen the number. It's been up here the whole time, 516-881-6992. Not before 1 p.m., not after 7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.